7:45. I'll just say 8 o'clock. All right. Meeting ID is going to be 239-635-8915.
Okay.
And
check, mic check. So Butter on a Bagel podcast. We're getting set up. We're just getting all the stuff set up right now for our guests. We got a Zoom call tonight with Juan Wilson. We also have another call by Christopher Bynum. He's an award-winning author, Black indie author. He's also retired Master Staff Sergeant from the Air Force. So we're excited to have him as well. And we're also going to have Mark Gonzalves Sr. is the father of Jamal Gonzalves. Our hearts and prayers go out to him and his family. Right now, during this time, it's a big situation that happened last year with Jamal Gonzalves. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be bringing awareness to that and demand justice. So let's give it a couple minutes. We're still getting set up. I'm about to switch this music up because we can't have this stuff. We're going to get blocked. So I got to switch up the music real quick. But luckily, we have some dope music from artists that have been sending us stuff throughout the year. So we're just going to play some local artist music.
Yeah, you got me out of space. Checking me out of place. Rolling ain't out of shape. You drip this talk today. Them boys don't talk straight. No games, no time to play. Pick up this time of day. Get money, no time to play. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ready to go? Yeah.
Checking me out of place. Rolling ain't out of shape. You drip and talk today. Them boys don't talk straight. No games, no time to play. They got me time today. They might even find a way. They got me pressure, they know I'm losing. I'll be out until I'm on the news. She had to know me, she be ducking the two. You walking the blow, they give me the blues. Too many options, that's over you. You know you're blessing, you blessing me too. And all my lessons, so watch how I move. They probably know me, try to cruise, I cruise. Yeah, look, bring it back if you need it back. I got dreams of my own, no holding back, no holding back, cause they gon' watch you follow. I'm a people, what I seen is not a thing that follow. Where you step on, where you step on, where your name ain't hollow. Police matching me come.
Just send me the link for the meeting so I can send it to them.
Yeah. When you bring that button, when it's over, you're running. When you go up and hunt you. Buddies, 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 buddies on the floor, buddies, buddies on the floor, buddies, buddies on the buddies, 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 buddies.
So this is what y'all right now. We're gonna move this over.
Buddies, buddies, buddies on the floor, buddies, buddies on the floor, buddies, buddies on the floor.
I'm trying to figure out how to broadcast the TikTok from here. I want to broadcast the TikTok.
Oh, we got a TikTok page.
And OnlyFans. I didn't know how to broadcast the OnlyFans on here.
We do have a TikTok page.
All that pain that we swallow.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Send a text to me, Sean.
Even plenty of fish has like
Give me time and I live more.
Yeah.
Give me time and I give more.
it's crazy. But the good thing about those is you can get paid from it. No. You put up your own like emojis and then they bio.
My girl's daughter got like 200 something subscribers already.
Okay.
We're getting like 300. Maybe 70 cents. Well, we made a creator. We sent our own creators account.
For TikTok?
Yeah, for TikTok, yeah.
Let's see. Five. Alright. Alright, so Facebook and Twitch are up.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Word, check it out. Shout out Joe Bruce, man. This is a new track, Joe Bruce. This is a Butter on a Bagel podcast.
What?
Here with Jasmine. We're at the Juice Studio. We're getting set up still. We got a good show tonight. We're gonna have Juan Wilson calling in this week. We're gonna be doing a Zoom meeting with him. We're setting that up right now. And we're gonna be talking about Yes PVD and the different things that he's doing right now. So shout out to Juan Wilson. Thanks for coming through. We're also gonna have Christopher Bynum tonight. Christopher Bynum's an award-winning Black indie author. He's also retired Master Staff Sergeant for the Air Force. And we're really excited to have him on, talk about his new releases. So he's got a couple books that's coming out. They look really good, called The Hitman Chronicles. So we're gonna check out the books. I'm gonna talk about those and our other topics that's going on right now. We're also gonna be having Mark Gonzalves Sr. come through to the studio tonight, and we're going to be talking about some challenges that's been facing the community as far as getting justice. We demand justice for Jamal. And that's our stance. We want to back him up 100% on that, and we want to see something done about that. And we're gonna have him come on. We're gonna talk about it, and really just the challenges that's facing the community right now. That's why we're gonna have access to people we're bringing on to the show, so you guys can join the live chat, and you guys can ask questions that you have as well. And I really think that's the good part about this show, is that we have the live chat where you guys can actually tune in and talk to some of the people that we bringing on the show. So we're really excited to have them down tonight. And so I'm sitting here with Jasmine, and we had a pretty good dinner the other night. We went out to eat. It's the new year, so want to start things off right. So we all went out to dinner and just had a good time. Really just trying to spend more time with her, my mom, and it's really focusing on family this year. A lot of things that we learned from last year, really how important it is for family to stick together through some of the tough times. So I just really want to continue that throughout this year, and we got some other things that we're going to talk about. We got the inauguration coming up.
Yep.
Joe Biden's getting inaugurated, so we're going to be talking about that a little bit. And basically, I guess, down in D.C. right now, things are kind of in turmoil because the president that we have right now, isn't really wanting to cooperate or whatnot. But I guess they're bracing for more violence down there in D.C. So they deployed the National Guard, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's crazy that, I never really heard of anything like that before. Like when we transition presidents, like having to deploy the National Guard.
Yeah, I mean, it typically doesn't happen. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like National Guard's a little excessive, but preparing for violence is never a bad thing, I guess. Like being prepared and all that.
Yeah, it's just crazy though, because mean, you never really hear anything like that because usually when there's another president coming into power, yeah, there's always going to be some kind of controversy. Like there's always going to be people talking, you know, that the people that didn't vote for him obviously not going to like him. That's cool, whatever. But you know, it was never really had a president that was saying that he wasn't really going to be, you know, leaving office in the way that he is. I don't know. I think that's unprecedented that he's leaving, he's leaving the office the way he is. And I also heard that he might be trying to start war with Iran.
I have not heard that.
Yeah, that's in the news too. So yeah, he might be trying to start like a last ditch war with Iran or whatnot. Basically, you know, a war that he knows that he's not gonna be able to finish, but he's willing to start one. So I don't know. It's just crazy times.
Over what?
Well, basically, Iran's nuclear weapons program is, you know, they're not supposed to be having a nuclear weapon program. Like they've been told not to have nuclear weapons program to the extent that they have one. So that's pretty much why, you know, he wants to intervene. You know, and I can get that part. I can understand that part. But I mean, he could have did this last year. You know, he could have always stepped in and tried to intervene with a nuclear weapons program at any point of the last 4 years. He could have did that. Why are you going to wait till the very end of your presidency to do that? You know. So yeah, Kathy's like, you throw tantrums like a toddler. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's, you know, like a toddler, man. He's not really thinking right. So he wants to start a war and talk about Iran and start with them when they're not like a small country. No. They got a good military. They got a good sized military, and they're backed up by Russia. So I think maybe that may be why he's starting it now, because you know he's friends with Putin, and he's, you know, buddy with Russia and all that, and maybe he just didn't want to get on Putin's bad side for the last 4 years, so now he wants to start something now. You know,
he didn't want to get. He's already been on people's bad side.
No, Putin's bad side.
Oh.
You know, maybe he just didn't want to get on Putin's bad side. You know, for the last 4 years.
I mean, he's gone on the bad side of every single other leader in the world, so I don't know why one really makes a difference.
Well, the difference between Putin and a lot of leaders is Putin is known for being very tough.
Yeah, but same with Kim Jong-un. He had a whole Twitter war with that guy.
Yeah, but Kim Jong-un, yeah, he's known for being a tough guy, but that's their communist country. That's kind of how they operate. It's communism. I don't think Russia's a communist country, is it? I don't think they're communists, so.
I know they used to be.
Maybe they are. I don't know.
I'm actually not sure.
I'm not sure either. But all I know is when you start a war before you leaving the presidency, just so Biden's gonna have to deal with that. I don't know. I think that's just not really smart.
Congress has to approve that anyway, so I don't really think we're going to have a war. I don't think Congress is going to approve us going to war with anybody right now.
Well, Congress didn't approve of when we bombed, what was it, the other country. And
Congress hasn't approved a lot of stuff that we've done.
Yeah, the Congress really hasn't approved a lot of the things that Trump will just do what he wants to do anyway. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, because I guess he's gonna be out. Was it January 22nd? Something like that.
Hold on. I'll look it up, because we're just throwing dates out now. I really have no.
He's
January 20th, Wednesday, January 20th.
Yeah, January 20th.
That's what I think. Is it always the 20th?
It's usually like the third week of January.
It's always the 20th.
Yeah, so.
Or something. I don't know.
It's just interesting, like, you know, as we coming into 2021, it's gonna be a change of power in the White House, and you know, we'll see what happens. And I think it's interesting. You know, it's kind of interesting to look at what's going on down there, because that's really gonna be what's gonna lead us into this new 2021. And we have so many issues. We're still fighting the pandemic. And, we're going to be fighting like a recession coming up soon, I believe. And just a lot of Americans just, going through it right now, not wondering, the future is very uncertain.
Mhm.
It's very uncertain what's going on in the next few years. So, it's just gonna be interesting to look at. We're definitely gonna keep watching it, like looking at what's going on and talking about it because, you know, we might not have popular opinion or it might be an unpopular opinion or whatnot, but I feel like, it's got to be talked about anyways. And the position that we have is, we're gonna stand on what we believe, and we're always gonna try to bring light to situations that could affect us. And as far as people really want to talk about what people want to talk about, and then there's real issues that's going on, I feel like we can really keep talking and using our platform to talk about real issues. And I don't know everything. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy out here. I'm just learning a lot of this stuff as I go along. I try to do research, and that's why I really like to have discussions about this because I want to know what other people's opinions are too, because I'm not saying I'm always right. So if anybody has opinions, let us know. If anyone thinks that 2021 is going to be a better year, I think it's going to be better than 2020.
Here's hoping.
I know you're going to be going off to college this year too.
Yep.
So you're going to finally be done with school. When are you done with school?
I'm not sure when the seniors' last day is, but I think like the last school day is one of the last few weeks of June. But seniors get out early. I'm just not sure what day it is.
So you guys are getting out early?
Yeah.
My bad. I'm just sending this link over real quick.
We usually have like our exams earlier than everyone else so that we get to leave earlier.
So you having exams? You got to go into school to take those, or you gonna be doing them from home?
I don't know. We were supposed to the school. What's the word? District was supposed to have a committee meeting to determine when we're going back to school, but I don't think we heard anything about it yet.
So you might be taking your exams from home.
I might be. Yep. So my graduation day is the 11th, and I think. Like the last day of school for everybody is the 25th, but I'm not sure when my last day is, or if I'm even getting an early last day. But I graduate the 11th.
How do you feel? Do you feel prepared for the exams and everything? Like you just ready to get this last half of the year out the way?
I don't know. I feel like I'll do fine during my exams.
I feel like if you could take your exams at home, what's stopping you from just opening your books and just getting the answers from?
Well, most of my teachers, when they do quizzes, like it's proctored, so like we have to be in like the video chat while we're taking our exams. So like they know whether or not we're like looking at other stuff, but it's still pretty easy to.
So couldn't you have like your mom behind the laptop just holding the book open for you or something?
Yeah, if my mom would ever. Are you kidding? If I ever even asked something like that, she'd beat me and starve me for 2 weeks.
Yo, but what if that exam was like it meant you can get an A?
Way.
You need that A for that class.
I should have studied harder.
I mean,
she would never.
I mean, what's really stopping her from doing? What's stopping anybody from doing that? I'm not just
there
saying.
There are definitely some parents out there that would probably help. I mean, even still, it's not that hard to like FaceTime your friend and be like, yo, what'd you get for number 5? But I mean, we're honestly, for me, I feel like I'm about to go off to college. If I'm going to cheat on my exams, like I'm not really doing myself any good. Like I'm about to go into a nursing program for tens of thousands of dollars a year. Like I can't really BS my way through college like the way you can BS your way through high school. So if I do all that, like I'm just screwing myself over at that point.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess you're right, like if you look at it that way, but I'm saying there's a lot of students out there that's not gonna look at it that way.
For sure.
I mean,
they're
failing. They need to pass this exam to, pass the class.
I don't know what the teachers are gonna do. I mean, all of my teachers have given me a quiz at least once. And They all do it different ways. Like none of them are like too strict about. Like they know who we are. They know we're gonna cheat no matter what.
You think so?
Oh, they definitely know that. They say it every time. Like we have our phones, we have our computers. Like most of us have more than one computer at home. Like they know we're gonna find a way to cheat, no matter what they do.
Alright.
But I don't know.
Nah, I'm not saying you're gonna do that. So I'm not trying to get her in trouble. Don't worry, Kathy. I'm not trying to instigate. I'm not trying to instigate nothing. I'm not trying to get her in trouble. You know, not like she can go to detention or anything. Like, how are you get in trouble nowadays at school? Like, can they send you? They send you to your room?
They email the principal, and the principal emails you and your parent.
So you get a nasty email?
Yeah. So like, if you skip class, like because the teacher still has to do like attendance and all that, so you have to sign into every video chat, and they have to do attendance for everyone. And so like, if you show up for like all your other classes but not that one, they'll email your vice principal. And your vice principal will email you, and like if you do it too many times, like they'll call your parents. So they're basically just hoping that the parents punish you.
That is not punishment. What
else can they do though?
They could email. They could tell me.
I mean, they can't. You think my mom doesn't know how to punish me? I've lived under my mom's roof for almost 18 years. She knows how to punish me.
You know what? I would. You know what? I'd be on your side. I'd be on your side. I'd be like,
she punish you too. Are you
about?
Kidding me?
What y'all talking about getting on my daughter's case for?
My mom will punish you too.
Just
crazy.
Yeah, we know that.
She's all chill on the outside, but on the inside, she's like going around trying to stab everybody.
Your mom's strict.
I'm not, honestly, not really. See, I say all this stuff like I know, like my friends have much stricter parents than I do, and not to say like I would never like lie to my mom or anything like that, but like I can't even explain it. Like if I tell her I want to go somewhere, she's typically fine with that, but that's just like I've never lied to her about where I've been. You know?
That's good.
Like I've never told her I'm going somewhere and then go somewhere else, and like I've never like snuck out of the house or like anything like that. So like she's pretty chill with me, but like I know if there was ever a point where I did something she didn't like, she would not hesitate to put a beat down on me. I know it.
Wow.
Like
she got fear in your heart. Wow. Go mom.
Like she's not like I'm not like scared to like ask her to go anywhere.
Sounds like you are.
No, I'm not though. Like that's the thing. Like I'm really not.
Nah, she's lenient though. I know because I remember. You know, she's not. I know she's not that strict.
Like I'm pretty cool. Like I'll tell her anything. I'll tell her anything. But I know like the first chance that I do something not okay, it's done. It's done. I'm done. And I know that. So it's sort of like strictness in the way that like she just lets me do, like she lets me make my own mistakes.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What kind of mistakes are those? And since she lets you make your own mistakes, what kind of mistakes?
I haven't made many, honestly.
All right.
I haven't made many.
Oh, you haven't made many?
No. I haven't made
many. Is that true, Kathy? She hasn't made many mistakes?
She'll tell you straight up. I'm pretty good.
Okay, well, Rhiannon says, "Where's the digging a hole emoji?"
Because I feel like when I was younger, she was way more strict with me than she is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I was younger and I wanted to go to a friend's house, I needed like 2 months in advance notice. Like I could not ask the morning of because she'd be like, "No, it's last minute, and you need to ask me in advance, and who's gonna bring you, and how are you gonna get home, and all that stuff." And like I could go to her.
You're a good kid.
You know, like I've never.
That's cool though. Hey, so tell me again what colleges that you got accepted to, because I got
accepted to Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale, Stetson University in DeLand, Florida, University of South Florida in Tampa, and Coastal Carolina.
All right. And which one of those schools allow parents to live?
None of them.
Which ones they don't let parents be there? Like
no.
So
they actually encourage parents not to visit at all.
They encourage parents not to visit. So what's going on in their schools that they don't want the parents to be there?
They encourage the kid to go live there, and they tell the parents leave them alone and don't follow them.
They don't say that.
Yeah, when they send out your
that.
acceptance letter, they tell you don't even tell your parent where you're going to college because they'll just follow you.
I think they tell parents to be very aware and involved in their young students' life because they out in college they think they know everything.
No, because the first sentence in your acceptance letter is your name, and then it's like, don't tell your parents, but you got admitted. Yeah. And then they go on to give you the rest of your information. But the first thing is just don't tell your parents.
They really say that?
Yeah.
That worries me.
So I'm not allowed to tell you where I'm going, and you're not allowed to follow me.
So why don't you apply to any schools out here, though? It's like all in Florida.
I refuse.
You smart.
I was going to apply
to
Harvard just for shits and gigs. Just to say I did.
I thought you did.
No.
You never did?
I didn't end up doing it, but I wanted to be I wanted to be that person who got into Harvard, and not even saying I could get into Harvard. I probably wouldn't have. But it was my dream to get into Harvard and then go somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like, I didn't want to go to Harvard at all. I just wanted to get into Harvard.
You just want to flex on Harvard?
Yeah.
And he was like,
I went to Harvard, but I went to some weird private school down in Florida instead.
I got in, but I'm good. I'm good, Harvard.
Right. Thanks, Harvard, but no thanks.
All right, cool. So
I didn't even want to apply to a school higher than South Carolina.
Why didn't you apply to like any schools in New York, like Cornell?
That's higher than South Carolina.
What you mean?
Like I didn't like anywhere in the United States that was above South Carolina.
Oh, that was your cutoff?
That was my cutoff.
You drew a line in the map?
The line straight across underneath? South Carolina. I am not going any higher.
You know what? I knew I raised a smart one. Well, you're very smart because, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here, far away.
I joke around with my mom all the time. As soon as I leave, I'm not coming back. I joke around with her all the time. Like, you're never seeing me again once I move out of this place.
That's usually what most people, when they leave, they don't come back. But, not everybody has that opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And you weren't given that opportunity. You earned it. So I'm really proud of you. I'm glad that you're going to take advantage of that because...
I mean, it's been a dream since middle school. I knew as soon as 7th grade, I was not going to school in New England.
That's cold, right?
I knew it.
Well, I love Rhode Island. Don't get me wrong. I love Rhode Island. I love Providence. It's crazy out here.
Yeah.
Providence is crazy. But
I mean,
I still love it. But...
I say all the time there are things that I'm going to miss. Like,
yeah.
In certain parts of Florida, like, the leaves don't change color in the fall. And I'm going to miss that. Like, just seeing the leaves change color in the fall. Like, I say it all the time. Like, when we go on, like, softball visits or even when we're just, like, driving around, like, I'll look at it and, like, I'm going to miss those views. But at the same time, being able to drive around Florida and see palm trees everywhere and be in 70-degree weather and seeing the beach, like, 10 miles away, I think I'll get over it.
Yeah.
I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, you're going to have the beach. You're going to have, like, the sunshine, the palm trees, and just new experiences. And you're going to have me down there.
You're not coming with me.
Because I'm going to be down there, too.
Nope.
I will be down there.
Nope.
But, no, that's cool. I'm proud of you. And keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing it the right way. I want to make sure your brother has had a really great, positive role model influence in you. So I think you're doing a great job. You're a great person. You're a great big sister. Keep up the good work. And then what we were talking about was the new podcast. When you go down there, and what my mom want to call it?
Lightly toasted.
Yeah. So we are the Butter on a Bagel podcast, and my mom said if Jasmine had her own podcast down there, she'd call it the
Lightly Toasted Podcast.
Now, does that make sense, chat? The Lightly Toasted?
Listen, I did not even take it to the level that you took it when you heard it. Like, I was not even thinking about that in my mind.
So me, I think I could have started the Lightly Toasted podcast when I was a toaster.
A toaster?
Yeah. I don't toast anymore. But I toast champagne. We toast champagne. Well, I could have had the Lightly Toasted podcast. I would have had the Bigly Toasted
That's
podcast.
So funny.
But
Mel loves it. Mel thinks Lightly Toasted is so good.
She does?
Yes.
What? Yeah, the Lately Toasted podcast. So you're gonna see that in the fall of 2021 with Jasmine in Florida. And we're gonna play some local music. We're gonna keep it moving. We do have Juan Wilson and we do have other guests that we're coming on today. So we're gonna play some quick music. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna load up Juan Wilson onto the Zoom screen and don't go anywhere. Give it a couple minutes. The Butter on Bagel podcast. Shout out Ray Walker. Hold up. I'll be right back. Gotta move different. Just in case the fed is watching, gotta move different. Don't come and make the block, you better move different. I brought it every night, you better move different. Inconspicuous nigga, I had to move different.
Why are you in the waiting room?
Me, so we could hear him. Didn't you say I needed to join it?
Yeah. Why you turn it down?
What?
Might be.
Oh, he has the other.
Yeah, he has it too.
So what's going on, bro? We're loading you in now. Let me know when he's in.
I got it.
He's in? All right, I can hear you because we got AirPods in, so we can hear you. You can hear us, right?
So can they hear us if we mute the mic for this?
You should mute your
Yeah, just because I can hear us through the microphone and us through this. So I can hear both of us. So would they be able to hear us still if you muted it? Okay.
They should only be able to hear the microphone.
Okay.
Juan has his own.
Okay.
All right, cool. So I'm just gonna put him on speaker then.
Why?
Oh.
No, because they can hear him through that. The only reason we have these is so we can hear him too.
Okay. All right. So can you talk? Let me see if I can hear you in the AirPod real quick, bro.
He just has to unmute himself.
Can you hear him, Jazz?
Pause your music for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. All right, cool. All right, you're in. All right, so we're gonna go right into your segment right now, bro.
Hold on.
All right. See, I hear myself in this though.
Yeah, let's me play on this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Welcome to the Adaptivity Series. Flexing cadence and abilities lyrically. Let's prove every run got it in them to rock over different genres, writing rhythms. Most people beats action and E-Hack in the room. Apply smart people across the planet. Here's an organic escape for you to jam with. You look at my grandkids, but far from having them. Build platforms off the double D acronym.
You gotta mute this. All right, so we're gonna be going off of what we hear, right?
Alright, you need the microphone still.
Off the microphone.
You're just hearing twice because it's going through here and you're hearing. That's why I asked if you could mute us on here so that we're not hearing this.
Okay. Because we are wicked behind now. We are wicked behind now. We're about to miss this whole segment.
You see it? You see it?
No. Maybe I have to reload it.
You don't see it on the Facebook? It should be.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, all right, yeah, it's there now.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're ready.
Can you mute us on the Zoom?
Hello, hello.
Okay, that's better.
All right, we're back. We are getting Juan Wilson loaded in. J1 the brand. We're bringing on J1 the brand tonight for the Zoom chat. We're going virtual. This is our first virtual show that we're doing tonight. So we're still getting some of the kinks out. But this is where we're moving towards going in 2021, going virtual and being able to have guests, not have to come down to the studio so we can do interviews. And basically, we're going to be able to do interviews with anybody, anywhere, anytime now, as long as we get the virtual set up. So we do appreciate you guys for being patient with us. We do have Juan Wilson logged in now. We are good. We brought him on. Can everybody in the chat see him? If anyone can see him, let me know. If you can't see him in the chat, let me know. So what's going on, bro? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Juan?
Why is the music playing?
I don't know. I'm all closed out. All the music's closed out here. Then now we're good. We brought him on. Can everybody in the chat see him? If anyone can see him, let me know. If you can't see him in the chat, let me know.
Why is the music playing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think there's a little delay.
Yeah.
But all right, I could hear you in my earbud. Can you hear me, bro? All right, cool. So we're good to go. We're lit. Let's start this over. This is Butter on a Bagel podcast.
What?
Here with Jasmine Lee in the building. We're at the Juice, and we have Juan Wilson, aka J1 the brand, here for our first virtual interview. Thanks, J1, for coming on. Yeah, man, I'm glad we could finally get you on. Last week we had some technical difficulties, but you know how it goes. Sometimes gotta roll with the punches. But it felt very unprofessional, so I had to ask you to come on again so we can get some of this some of these questions that we had. Yeah, man, and we're trying to get better at what we do, but I already know you doing what you do. You pretty much to the top of your game, man. I see a lot of stuff that's coming out, the content that you be putting out there, and the events. Tell me a little about the last event that you guys had, the PVD event. Yeah, that's great. And how long have you guys been doing that for?
We can, but they can't.
Yeah, I know a lot of things had to change because of COVID, and we weren't really allowed to do events out here. How have you guys been adapting with all of that? Like, I know you have the virtual events. Is that really like the way you guys, the only way you can do things now? Right. Yeah, definitely. So what are some of the ways that you guys are helping to empower the youth? I love that that's an initiative that you guys are doing. So what are some of the ways that that exactly works?
Can we take it off and put it up to the microphone?
And I share with the students that we have on our list. So that's kind of what we're doing now. But right now, I'm trying to recruit a new committee and also recruit some youth because we want this to be youth-led going forward.
Yeah, I noticed you guys have. Oh, I'm sorry. One second. All right, we were having a little technical difficulty because I guess the chat couldn't hear you, so they're still setting that up. But we could hear you, and you were saying pretty much the way that we're doing things now and we're going virtual. That's kind of the only way that we're allowed to be able to operate right now, and for you to continue to help do these events for the youth, that's kind of the only way that we know how to do it without jeopardizing the health and the safety. Um, but when you do the events and as far as empowering the youth, and now that you're looking for a committee to help and really give more of a leadership role to the youth, and I really liked that aspect because I do think the youth is the future, and the youth is the future. We already know that, but I think people they don't really understand the strength that the youth has right now. They say, oh, they're going to be strong in the future, but I think they're really strong now. I think a lot of these kids right now, a lot of the younger adults, they have ways that they can be creative, and they can be leaders for themselves. So what are you looking for as far as like committee members? If you're looking to bring in leaders, what kind of people are you looking for?
How I like the mentor and mentor. So that's how I refer to it. And it's like wanted to jump in. And well, we accept everyone. So we service youth 13 to 24. And we raised to 24 last year. My son attended BOAB, and he's supposed to go to students and graduate things like that. And we can say like college, so college students would benefit from some of the stuff that we're doing. So we decided to
That's great. So you're looking for go-getters. You're looking for people that are active out there and looking to take the reins or take charge in situations. And I hear you, man. I try to get Jasmine to take the reins and take charge of things all the time. And I think she's really developing that way nicely. I think it's good to see them be able to handle that. And what are ways that you're going to be able to help them along? Because I know with Jazz, I try to take it a little slowly at first, and now I see that she could really probably do this show by herself. I think just taking time with it. So I want to make sure I try to lead her in the right way. But what are ways that you're going to help develop their leadership qualities?
like the awards, right? We recognize resilience. So resilience is one of the qualities of leadership, right? Like the show, initiative, and persevering through challenges, right? So it's not just school education challenges. Self-reflecting, understanding that nothing's ever perfect. You're always going to make mistakes, or learning from the mistakes. And there's certainly right, the early leader, the better that you come moving forward. Because I believe if you're proactive, you're reactive, you're creating social goals, it's going to be better with the notes. And so writing is from the past, how you were beginning, you, and expose them to writing into opportunities. And then they know how to see them at an early age, because it is going to be stuff going forward. So how I got to say it for a sense, they were challenged, they weren't always the ones I got they have, even if I connected them, I said, they had to go for you. So they had to, like I knew someone I had an open position, they knew me. You still have to interview, you still have to impress that person. So when I hired them, I said, you still have to not me. So what I would do is use my relationships with them. So if there were opportunities, because they had to
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly how I feel too. I think that you give them challenges, you give them goals, and they step up to them. They have to learn how to meet those challenges. Jasmine, she does great in school. She's like already getting accepted to colleges. So I feel like I really lucked out. Sometimes it's hard to reach some of the youth out here. The youth, it's tough. There's a lot of kids that don't have that ambition. They lost hope already. They see the streets as the only way that they can get out or do anything worthwhile, but they know it's not worth it. They just, they don't, there's really not a lot of opportunities out here, for the youth. So what are some of the goals that you have as far as trying to attract more of the youth to be more ambitious and kind of see the program that you're doing and maybe hope to attract them? So like what's some of the goals? What's some of the goals for this year coming up for you guys that we can maybe help put a light on and bring awareness to get them to maybe be a little more ambitious, or maybe find something that is worth doing with their life instead of just throwing their life away? So what are your goals that we can help bring awareness to? Lost audio. From us too.
Say something. No. I don't know. They said it was fine, and then suddenly they couldn't hear us anymore.
All right, cool. Nah, that's dope. So what I want to do is I want to bring you back again, and we can continue to talk about this. And it doesn't even have to be on a Tuesday. If you ever want to just set up a Zoom call, and we can talk about this, and maybe we could record something on the side because it's kind of having a little technical difficulties here. I guess we losing audio. The audio's going in and out. I don't know if the chat can even hear me right now, but like I said, we're gonna roll these punches, and I want to continue to try to help bring awareness to what you're doing, and I want to really try to support in whatever way we can. I mean, we're not the greatest over here. We're still learning as we're going, but I really want to try to help support you, and just bring awareness to the good things that you guys are doing. And if we could just maybe do this again sometime, that would be great. So I really appreciate you for coming on, bro. All right, dope, man. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna hit you up a little later, man. We're gonna get you back on, and we're gonna keep pushing awareness for this. Anything that you want to share with me, send it to me. Send it to the Butter on a Bagel fan page. I know a lot of people are really interested in hearing from you and hearing what we were talking about. So I know people wanted to hear what you had to say. So anything that you want to send our way, send it to the fan page. We'll be more than happy to continue to share all the great things that you're doing. We're just kind of running out of time right now because we have other guests to bring on. But again, we really appreciate what you're doing. One with the Yes PVD initiative, youth empowerment is really important out here that we continue to spread these positive messages out here. And then maybe we can talk about some music next time too, because I know you're deep in the music game as well. And I really want to talk about that as well, because I also have a passion for music. I love it. I love what you're doing, man. So I really appreciate you. All right, bro?
I think he left.
All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. I guess we lost the sound again. I might just have to redo this whole feed real quick because we gotta bring in Mel soon. But we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna figure this out. Sorry, chat. We're gonna figure this out. Just give us 5 minutes. We're gonna figure this out. All right.
Put a song on.
All right.
I want to know why the fucking all of a sudden you just. You got another one of those calls coming?
Yeah, it's just gonna do a call. We're just gonna do a phone call this time. That's fine. I'm gonna play some music right now. Just it happens, bro.
It happens, but
you know, it always happens when you least expect it or when you really need it. That's when something comes up. So, dude, it's all right. We're gonna figure it out.
I need to know why the sound went out. Can you play a song?
Thank you.
Yes, I'm gonna play it.
It's not recognizing the fucking audio driver.
This is about Zoom, right?
No, but I think I know why it's not recognizing the audio driver. No music yet? Someone talk or something?
Yo.
Your mic. You turned your mic off.
Check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
That's what it was. It wasn't recognizing the audio driving.
Oh.
And Zoom knocked it out. Zoom knocked out the audio driving.
Oh, that's what it was. So we're gonna figure out the Zoom thing, man, because Zoom is great, but I think he was saying we could use StreamYard. I guess StreamYard's another app that we might try to use, but can the chat hear me now?
Yep, you bet.
All right, great. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to bring him back another time because he really did have some good things to talk about as far as Yes PBD youth empowerment program that he has, and really giving goals to some of these kids out here that are ready to take on the challenges, take things by the reins, ambitious, they're go-getters. That's what he's looking for the Yes PBD youth empowerment program that he's running. And the reason why I feel that it's so important that the youth is the future, because we've been messing this up for years, man, and somebody's got to take control of it. So I really feel that if we focus on positive things for the youth, and I've seen it. And yes, Mel Bynum, you're about to call in. Yeah, we're gonna just do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna figure this out. We are definitely gonna figure this out. A lot of this things is trial and error, and we figuring it out, right on the fly. That's how we do. We gotta roll with these punches. But Mel Bynum, we're definitely gonna have you call in, and I'm gonna put you right up to the microphone. So your husband talked about the books that he has. But I again want to just thank Juan Wilson for coming on. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but it is so important that we continue to keep pushing awareness for positive programs for the youth, because I've seen it too much out here where the youth out here, they don't have the ambitions anymore. I've seen it where some of these kids, man, they could come from a good family. I mean, not all these families out here are broken. That's what they want you to think. They want you to think all the Providence family households are broken families, and it's not true. Some of the youth out here come from good families, hardworking families, father, mother, both in the picture, hardworking. Yet the youth they still find some way that the world just takes the streets gets to them. They could be 13, 14 years old. A drug dealer gives them some money just to make some plays for them. And now at the end of the week, they get a new cell phone and they get $20 in their pocket. And to them, that's what excites them. That's what gets them going. That's what they think about when they wake up in the morning. What they're gonna do on the streets instead of what they're gonna do in the books, what they're gonna do in the classroom. Things that is gonna enrich their lives later on down the road. They don't see it. They don't see what the decisions that they make now is going to affect them in the future. And I've seen it too many times. Some of these young kids, these youth, they don't have the hope. They don't have the ambition. They say, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow, I could be my last day anyways. They see the police shooting the kids. They see the Trayvon Martins getting killed, murdered. And there's no justice for that. So they know it could be their day, and any time could be our day. So they don't have any hope for the future. So we have to keep pushing positive programs for them. And even if it reaches just one kid in your neighborhood, if it just reaches one person, then you did something good. That's the way I feel. And we have to keep pushing positive programs for them. And that's why we bring Juan Wilson on here, because he's also really deep in the music game. He's got an artist named Raish. She's lit. She's really dope. She's like number 8 or 8 on the charts right now, the national Billboard charts. And she's from out here. So I also wanted to talk about that. We're going to talk about that another time. So we're going to set up. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm going to play a quick song, and then we're going to bring on Christopher Bynum. He's going to do the call-in 2 minutes. And we are still on schedule. We do got a tight schedule tonight because we also have Mark Gonzalves coming down later. But we are on a tight schedule. But give me 2 minutes, and then we're going to have Mel Bynum and Christopher Bynum. And Jasmine, did you have any words for that, though? Like, what did you think about that, what he was saying?
The interview?
Yeah, could you hear him?
I think I could hear him well enough. I feel like for me as like a kid, it was nice to hear how he was focusing on some of the things. Like when you asked him his goals and how to get kids to be more ambitious, he really focused on like our passions. The first thing he said was find their passions first. Because I think a lot of the time we hear adults telling us, oh, do this, you'll make more money that way, but they don't really tell us to chase after what we like doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big thing for me. Like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing something that'll make me a lot of money if I don't enjoy it. You know, I want to do something for the rest of my life that I'm going to love doing. I'm not going to get tired of it in 5 years. Something that I've been doing for however long. I mean, making money is a big part of being an adult, but I think there's not enough money in the world for me to spend the rest of my life doing something that I don't want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't settle for that either. A lot of times you gotta do what you gotta do to make a living for your family and things like that. But if you do life the right way and you do what you want to do and you do it smart and you take care of what you gotta take care of now, you won't have to be put in that position. And I feel like that's gonna enrich your life later on. And that's what we got to keep telling the youth, that it's not about right now. It's not about that fast money. You know, it's about things that's gonna develop you into being really successful in the future, and that's really what we want. And I love that you said that, finding your passions, and that's what you want to do. Because I remember we was talking to Jessica Vega.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Vega said the same thing. What is it that you want to? What is it that the people want to do? They got to find things that they want to start businesses in, and things that they want to devote their lives to, and that's what we got to focus on. So yeah, that's really dope. I'm gonna call you right now. Mel. Is that cool? Is you on right now, right? I'm gonna call Mel Bynum right now. We have Christopher Bynum. That's going to be coming to talk about the books that he has. I'm going to share something real quick. But first, let me get Mel Bynum. Hey, what's going on, Mel? You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, they're ready. Krista, is Christopher there?
Born ready.
Is Christopher there?
I'm here.
All right, cool. All right, so we got both of you.
Oh, yeah.
They're here.
Hey, guys.
Hey, I miss you guys.
Oh, I miss you.
Happy New Year.
Quick shout out to the Fierce Squad that got in today. Brianna and Tiara and all those nasty women that got elected.
That's right. We like.
God bless them and keep them.
That's right. We had some great women that was elected, and they were all sworn in yesterday. Is that right?
That's right, and Maria, the whole squad.
That's right. And we had Jessica Vega. She's one of them, right? We had her in an interview.
Tiara Mack.
Who else was it? Tiara Mack?
The whole Fierce Squad.
Who is the Fierce Squad?
All our new female progressives that are going to be taking the state by storm.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. And let me know if the chat, if you can't hear on the chat, let me know. But we're doing the best we can. She said that they got the Fierce Squad was elected, and they were all sworn in. All those strong women. They say nasty women because what Trump like to call them nasty women, right?
Yeah, and Gene Valcenti wants to call them fierce, so we'll take that. We're all fierce. We're all super women.
When did fierce become an insult?
Exactly. Thank you.
It just doesn't make it. I feel like I've heard fierce. I've never heard it as an insult before.
I mean, Tiara and all of them just are the picture of fierce. So
for sure,
I'm behind fierce 100%.
Yeah, that's great. That's actually a good way to put it, is fierce, because nowadays you have to be fierce, and that's what we want. You know, we don't want someone that's not fierce. We want somebody that's gonna, make changes and, at least do what they gotta do to, satisfy the people that voted them in. And I know a lot of us, we demand change in so many areas that, I mean, it's never going to stop. We have to keep pushing the initiatives and the things that the people want to see get done. So
we have to raise and promote and vote for strong women. And, Jasmine is our future. These women are our future. Transition into Chris. Chris writes strong women characters. So, that's one of the reasons why I love his books.
Yeah, so let's talk about the books. So you got 3 books coming out.
Yeah, 3 books in what I call the Hitman Chronicles series, and should be out pretty soon here in a few weeks.
I like that. See, I knew that you wrote, but I didn't know that you did all of that. You did your own covers and everything.
Yeah, I'm an artist too, and I like to create my own vision, so I don't let somebody else do my work for me. So when I have a new work coming out, I do the cover also, from concept to finished product.
Yeah, that's amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about the books that you have coming out? I was reading the titles of the Hitman Chronicles. They look really interesting. I'm not a huge reader, but I'm starting to read more in like the last year or so. I really have. I've been taking it serious and trying to read like every day a little bit, even if it's just the Bible, reading something every day, or different books, leadership books. But what's the Hitman Chronicles about, man?
Yeah, well, I write fiction. Yeah, if you want to start reading fiction, start with me, okay? But hey, before I get started on me, I want to give a rest in peace to Eric Jerome Dickey. He's a best-selling Black author who died a couple of days ago of cancer. And if you look up Black writers today, you're going to find his name everywhere because he's one of the most popular writers out there. He just passed away, and just to give him some respect, God rest in peace to him. But for me, yeah, I write fiction, and Hitman Chronicles started out as a short story about 10 years ago. Matter of fact, what got me into Eric Jerome Dickey was finding out that he wrote a book about a professional assassin, a black assassin. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's my idea. So I checked out his book, different character altogether, so I was cool with it. But it took me about 10 years to get to the finish of my project here, the Hitman Chronicles. And it's about a dude who went through some tragedy early in life, lost his parents at about 9 years old, and realized that he was kind of on his own in the world. He had no use for people because most people he couldn't trust. And that led to him as a young adult having no regard for human life, and you don't regard human life, get paid, taking it away, and that's how he got started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds sick, man. That sounds crazy. I want to read that. That's interesting to me because I like stuff like that. Like it's kind of it sounds like it's kind of got some crazy fight scenes or something like that. Or
yeah, no doubt. And one of the things I play with,
does that make sense?
The different ways he kills people. It's not just walk up and pull a trigger. He's tried some other stuff also.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's also an artist. For him, his character is named Duncan Gray. It's not just about not liking people. He's an artist. He creates in his paintings, which is also his cover for his money, how he gets paid, the world like he wants to see it. And most times that doesn't include people. He's just that cold, that ruthless.
Wow. So he's got kind of a different personality. Kind of he's got one side of him is the ruthless killer person, and then the other side he's an artist.
Exactly. And he's not the only one. I call it the Hitman Chronicles, but there's also another assassin who he actually trained with. Japanese American woman named Nakira, and she's just straight up the same. He kills for money. He has no regard for human life, but it's about getting paid for him.
Right.
But this character Nakira, she wants to look in your eyes and watch you die. She gets off on that. So it's two opposites.
I got
He's
you.
cold and calculated, and she would rather kill you and watch you beg for mercy to get paid for it. So they have a conflict coming up, so it's interesting.
Oh, okay. So they kind of
Kills people that deserve to be killed, so it's a good story.
Right. No, of course, that's dope. So one's doing it for the money because that's kind of what he does, and the other one does it because it's her pleasure. She gets pleasure from killing people.
Exactly.
That's kind of crazy. So there's three books to this.
Yeah. I started writing it as one book. I thought about it. I said these are almost like movies. So I broke it into 3 books, and there'll be more after this. But the first 3 are the ones I put covers out for already. The first one, Hitman Chronicles, The Devil's Children, is Nakira and Duncan, The Devil's Children. The second book is The Way of Monsters. They are monsters, really. and the third book will be called Rumors of War. And I won't give that away because the first two books lead into the third one, but it's called Rumors of War. And there'll be more coming, and it gets crazier.
That's awesome. So how long does it take you to write these books? Like, how long did it take to write them?
These particular books have been a 10-year project because self-publishing my books, certain things I put out quickly, like erotica stuff, because that's like throwaway stuff to me. It's easy to write.
Yeah.
But the Hitman Chronicles is like one of my passions, and I wanted to make sure I was ready to write it, that my skill was up to what I wanted to be, so that when I put it out there, I did the story respect. So That's why it took so long.
Yeah, it took your time with it.
Yeah, exactly.
He also has a poetry book out, Wayne, on Amazon. I put the link in the chat room.
Thank you for sharing that link. We're gonna keep sharing that. We'll share that to all the pages, and that's on Amazon. You got the link.
Amazon and Barnes and Noble, yeah.
Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And was it also Kindle? Did you have stuff on Kindle?
Yeah, everything's on Kindle. Some things on paperback also, but everything's on Kindle and Nook on Barnes and Noble ebooks.
Okay, that's fire. And so, how much do the books usually cost about?
It depends on the length. These three, the Hitman books, will be $2.99 each. But what I'm going to do is put them out on Kindle Unlimited, so people who have Amazon Prime can read them for free.
Oh wow! Okay, that's great.
And anyone can download a free sample and read it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, we'll definitely share those links as well. And what other projects now? So now what are you doing now that the books are out? Now what do? You pushing them, right?
Say again?
So now what are you doing? Now we pushing the books, right? So now that the books, I'm trying to get the whole process of you being an author, and now that the books are released. Now
the next step is like promotion and just doing some interviews and some PR and stuff and pushing some of the old stuff to to get people to see what he's about.
I tell you, as a writer, all I really want to do is write. But you got to promote yourself if you're self-published, otherwise people won't know you exist.
Mm.
So, get the book out there, promote it, but at the same time, I'm already thinking about my next books that are coming out. I'm planning on 2021 being a big year as far as getting my stuff out there. So these first three coming out, I won't stop. The next book's coming out. I won't stop because that's what I want to do. Promotion is like a must do, so people know you're out there and will buy my stuff. But I'm always writing. Even when I'm not writing, I'm writing. That's the personal creation never stops.
When you read it though, like you can picture it as like an HBO miniseries or something because it's really good. Like it's just a matter of getting it in the right hands, but like speaking it into existence, like he's gonna be writing screenplays at some point.
that's great. I know this guy is he's a producer, director, and he has his own production company, and he's been sharing a lot on the Viral Hip Hop 401 page that we have. He's a good friend of mine, Vega, and he just released a movie that he directed. So maybe I could talk to him. Maybe he'll, maybe you guys can turn this into a mini series. It sounds really interesting. It really sounds like I pictured it when you were saying that. I'd be picturing it in my mind, and it's something like I want to read it, and I think it would be a good visuals for that too.
That is true, and like Nakira is such a strong female character. Like a lot of women will definitely like relate to her and like her just because like she stands up for herself, and it's like her against the world.
That's right. That sounds dope. So, who inspired you to become a writer? Do you have any like favorite writers of yours?
Yeah, even before I started reading, I think I started writing when I was like maybe kindergarten age. With art. I had imagination and wanted to express it somehow. Like, I remember when I was in first grade, my mother was a PTA mom. She was always in the PTA meetings. She was big on education. And my first grade teacher told her that I turn in my work, okay, but everything I turn in, the papers around the lake borders with pictures I was drawing of everything, just drawing pictures on like a map paper, And that's how I started like to express my imagination. But as I got older, I realized that I could do it more efficiently with the written word versus doing pictures. Mm-hmm. So started out as an artist into my adulthood. I'm still an artist, but so I started very young writing, and get my imagination out there. It never stops. So yeah, like even when I'm sitting down doing nothing, I'm writing. Mentally I'm writing.
And
That's
like
great.
being part of the network of writers and friends, like Eric was a close friend of ours, and he was also a mentor, and he helped other writers out. Like he shared Chris's stuff. Chris shares other authors' stuff. He's on Twitter, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook. We'll put all the links in the chat. But again, it's just about like supporting other authors, and especially the Black authors need like all the support right now. Like they're out there trying to grind and trying to compete with the big time production companies, and these guys are doing self-publishing.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's tough out there, and right now we gotta keep supporting the Black authors for sure. Making sure that it's got to be fair. You can't just be supporting everyone else gets support, and there's no support for you guys. So definitely gotta keep supporting.
Into like Barnes and Noble or a bookstore and like ask them where the Black literature is. Like you probably get a look, or it's in the back somewhere, and like it needs to be up front with all the other best-selling authors. The urban authors need to be up front.
Yeah, that's true. Urban authors, and I want to keep trying to promote this book for you guys. Maybe we can do something like we could read some of it sometime, or we could read it on air, or you tell me what you.
Samples, so.
There's samples.
Yeah, definitely. But also, I mean, it's not my first books. I mean, if you look back a couple of years, I got my Nightwalker series, which is horror. Now we're talking about Black vampires and going back throughout history, back to slavery. So that's out now. People pick those up right now.
Oh, okay. What book is that called?
Nightwalkers.
Lightwalkers.
Nightwalkers. Is like, it has a lot to do with history too, and like Chris's family growing up down south, and how they would tell ghost stories at night on the porch, and so I mean it's really important in Black history as well.
Yeah, that's true.
People think about like vampires, Dracula, that kind of stuff. Mine starts out with a little Black girl right after the Civil War. She was born a slave, and now she's a vampire. There's a whole backstory to that, But check out Amazon, check out the reviews on it. You'll see, like, people who read it, they're into it,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make a note of that so I can look at that. It's called Nightwalkers.
Yeah.
All right, and that's by Christopher Bynum. Again, we got Christopher Bynum. He's a great writer. Releasing his new series called The Hitman Chronicles. And
I'll put in the link after too.
all right, great. That's awesome. So I want to switch gears real quick a little bit because I know you're a basketball fan.
Yeah, definitely.
You're a hoops fan because I see you on the NBA Warzone group, Facebook group all the time, and they be coming for you, bro. Like, cause they come. You don't mind the smoke. I see you don't mind the smoke, yo. You want the smoke because your opinion. I like what you said about LeBron because he was like, what was LeBron his legacy? Or what was his legacy? Except for jumping team to team. Yeah, I thought that was funny because me and Jasmine were talking about that too. Jasmine doesn't like LeBron either. And,
It's cool. It's off the court activities. It's charity. It's cool.
Yeah.
But and I say sports hate because it's not real hate.
No.
He's a man. I don't know him. He's cool. But sports hate. Yeah, I sports hate him.
You're right.
I grew up here. Like I've been a Celtics fan, Patriots fan for life. But like I love the Warriors now too. And
okay.
Like on a football Sunday, like I'm over here for my Patriots, and he's over here for his Raiders, and we make it too.
Yeah. Okay. Raiders fans. Raiders and Patriots. All right. See, my team.
Warriors, man. Like
Warriors. All right.
Warriors fan, not for the Splash Brothers. I go back a while. The first Black man I saw coach the pro sports team was Al Addles, coaching the Warriors back in 74, 75. And that's why I became a fan, even though from Jersey, I grew up a Knicks fan. But I saw he's the first Black coach I saw for any sport. Like, this is cool.
And he played for did he play for the Warriors?
Yeah, he played for him too.
And then he coached him.
Yeah.
Then he coached him. Yeah, I remember that name. I used to like the Warriors back when they had Chris Mullin and Mitch Richmond and Tim Hardaway.
Darren, all those guys, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then the Baron Davis years. I was more like Chris the Run TMC years. The Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullin. Because Chris Mullin was from Brooklyn.
Okay, yeah.
So I was always a Chris Mullin fan. You ever think of writing sports books? Because I used to, when I was younger, that's what I used to read was sports books. Like I would read like Street and Smith's almanacs and like just all the different sports books and magazines.
I've got a book out called The Last Round. It's boxing. It's under my pseudonym, The Black. That's my other writer name, The Black. But it's called The Last Round. It's about boxing. You would dig that one, man.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. You're a boxing guy too?
Oh yeah, man, come on.
Way back.
Way back.
Ali, yeah, that was my favorite. My favorite is Ali, Marvin Hagler. Hagler was my favorite back in the day, and then Mike Tyson. He just fought Roy Jones Jr. Did you see that fight?
I won't call it a fight, but I saw it. Yeah.
For some reason, I'm like obsessed with Mike Tyson, and I don't know. Like
say that again, Jazz.
I've never watched him fight ever. Like the only thing I know about Mike Tyson is that he bit a dude's ear off. But I'm obsessed with the vibes and with the energy that he gives off, and I don't even know why.
You like the vibes he gives off?
Like just the chaotic energy that he gives off. I love it. I'm in love with it.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you why. I really couldn't. Just Mike Tyson. I love him.
Mike Tyson used to be that dude back in the day that was like beating people.
Yeah, not even for that reason. I've never watched him fight. I probably will never watch him fight. But just something about Mike Tyson.
He's a bad man.
Like got more now than I did back in the day because it seems like he's got his head right now. He's relaxed and chill.
Yeah.
And he knows who he is now, so he's like a happier person. So I like him better now than I did back in the day.
But that goes back to what you were talking about before, Wayne, like these kids are lost in the street, right? Like some guys, saw him and like trained him. Like, there's a lot of guys in Providence on the street that could be fighters too, They just need an opportunity.
Yo, I'm gonna start fighting myself. I'm gonna get into a boxing gym. I'm gonna start training.
Seriously, it's like good exercise. I used to kickbox. Like I gotta get back into it.
Jasmine's like, what? Jasmine's like,
Air Force.
Yep. Did you? Yeah, so maybe you could teach me some pointers, man. I want to get back into the gym. And my girl, she was like, yo, you could join a boxing gym, because she knows I got like aggression I gotta get out because I don't play basketball anymore. I used to play a lot, but but I definitely need to find something like a gym to get into boxing. I might take up boxing. So
Racquetball, man. Racquetball is like no special. I quit playing basketball because of my knees.
Right.
So I started playing racquetball, and I became an addict for a while when I was in the military.
Yeah. Nah, I'm a sports fanatic. I love sports. I know. We definitely gotta link up, man, and we gotta keep trying to. This whole year, 2021, it's all about moving forward. And
yeah, we gotta do dinner again soon, fam. Like when we get together, like we missed you guys.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think we should do that next week. We could definitely hang out. Definitely. And I'm gonna be looking forward to reading the new Hitman Chronicles.
I hate to say goals and drop dead dates, but my goal is this month, to get the books out on the street. Once I get them done and edited, I can get them online in 2 days ready for sale.
For the Night Walker series, there's 3 books that's out now, and that's the history of the Black Vampire, which I think a lot of people will like.
Don't you like vampires, Jasmine?
I literally just read the 3 things on them.
You what?
Like the link she posted, I literally just looked at the 3 little excerpts on them.
Oh, with it? How are they?
History and vampires, that's my thing. That's kind of my thing.
And Chris's poetry book is Think Like a Man.
Thinking as a man.
Thinking as a Man.
Which one is it? Thinking.
All right.
Speaking as a man.
Speaking as a man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm writing all these down. We're writing all these down because I want to read all these.
And then the boxing book is good too. So.
And what's the boxing book's name? The name of the boxing book?
The Last Round.
The Last Round. All right, these are on my radar.
And the ladies have to read The Professional. That's like a must.
What is it?
The ladies have to read The Professional. That's a must.
The ladies have to read The Professional. All right.
Yep.
And it's also by The Black. And that's about a dude who started out as a short story about a gigolo with an ego. Ended up being my longest book ever. But it's out now. And she's a ladies' man.
And
All right.
he's an OG player.
Oh yeah, cause you OG player.
Return of the Mac.
Oh man, that's what. All right, so so when we link up, man, we gonna be wearing them Gators. Jasmine, you know what Gator boots are? Gators, alligator boots.
Okay.
Jasmine's like, okay, Dad. Okay, Dad.
Randy Toasted.
Yeah, Lady Toasted podcast. That's gonna be Jasmine's thing, man. She's gonna.
Listen, the more you talk about it, the more I want it. The more I want it.
Hey, and you see, we still have the fan art that you made us. The
Yeah,
butter
I
on a
love the
bagel. Yeah, we still have that.
The Golden Bagel.
The golden bagel. We love it. We love
Adorable. I love it.
it. So cute. And we love you guys too.
We
Yeah,
miss you
love guys.
guys.
Stay healthy, fam.
Yeah. Stay healthy, you guys.
Prayers for Jamal.
Prayers for Jamal for sure. Mark is in the studio, so we're about to bring him on next.
All right, we send him love and light, Mark.
All right, yes, I'll let him know. I will let him know. So thanks for guys. Yeah, of course. Anytime. We're gonna do this again. You know, like I said, 2021 is all about moving forward, and it's all about who we've learned that we love, that is your family. Like that's what 2020 is getting back to love and family and the people that really matter in your life. And sometimes all this, Facebook world and social media world, everything gets blown out of proportion and people are trying to do things to impress people and all that. And I just really want to focus on the people that we love and just the people that have been rocking with us, who rocked with us last year. That's who we're rocking with. And
I mean, our friend Eric was working on a book. He was going to put it out. Like, you never know, fam. Like, every day is a gift, right? Like, wear your masks.
Yep.
Do the social distancing so we can get beyond this, and we're gonna have a big party in 2022.
That's right. So we're gonna keep safe. We're gonna keep just staying safe and healthy, and we're definitely gonna keep in contact. And we'll go do dinner next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care.
All right.
You too.
Bye.
Congrats, Jazz.
All right. Cool. So that was Christopher and Mel Bynum, and we were talking about the Hitman Chronicles, and that is the new book series that he has written that is coming out on Amazon. It's going to be on Kindle, and it's going to be on BarnesandNobles.com, and he already has books on Amazon. The Nightwalker, Speaking as a Man, The Last Round, which is a boxing book. I'm really going to read that. I think I'm going to read that one first. And for the ladies, it's called The Professional. So he already has books on Amazon. So definitely check those out. And I'm gonna read those. And I encourage you to read them too, Jazz. Like
I thought the Nightwalker series looked pretty good, honestly.
It looks good.
Yeah. I mean, you already know history is my thing.
Yep.
Plus vampires in the mix.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So that sounds good. You really love history. That's right. You always say that. What is it about history that you love?
I like seeing how stupid people could be in the past.
Okay.
And I like seeing how many times humans make mistakes before we realize that we're making the same mistake. And you definitely see that a lot the further you go into history.
Yeah. So you like to see, the things, the past mistakes that were made, or just what went on, and you saw how things turned out, and now we should be learning from those mistakes.
Yeah, humans have a bad tendency to not learn from their mistakes, and you can see it over a span of centuries or over a span of decades. I mean, history repeats itself.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah, it's true. And even in our own personal lives, it happens. I know I've made mistake after mistake, and now I'm really starting to focus on stop making mistakes and doing the right thing. And I think sometimes it takes a while for us to realize the mistakes that we make. And sometimes we're not really tuned into the perception of what we're doing, or what we're actually doing could be the wrong thing. And sometimes we're just not thinking about that. But I really know if people like you being focused on that stuff, I think it's gonna help keep people in check. That's what we gotta do, keep people in check. Where, if you make a mistake, it's okay. Just, own up to it, apologize and make things right. And that's not saying disregard our mistakes, and not saying that, oh, it's whatever and blowing it off. That's the worst thing you can do. That's
Own your mistakes.
own the mistakes and make it right.
I feel like that's my biggest thing with a lot of things. It's not just own your mistakes. Like, if you say something wrong, own that. Like, if you have an opinion that people don't agree with, own that. Like, don't go around and say something or believe something or act a certain way and then down the line be like, nope, I never did that, or yeah, I did it, but it doesn't matter. Like, own it. Whether you believe in it now or you still feel that way now, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're
Right.
40, 50, 60 years old and you did something as a teenager, don't blame it on the fact that you were a kid. Just be like, yeah, I did it and I don't agree with it anymore, or yeah, I did it and I still agree with it, and you're either going to accept the fact that I did it or said it, or you're not. Like, just own it, like that. Like,
I love how you said it like that. Like, you're either going to accept the mistake I made, or you're not going to accept it.
That's just my whole thing. I'm not the type of person to, like, if I have an opinion that people don't agree with, like, that's my opinion. I'm not going to apologize for making you upset about it. Like, that's just either you accept the person I am and the mistakes that I've made and the flaws that I have, or you don't accept me.
That's right. And it's okay to make a mistake once in a while. Like Rodney said, people that make mistakes over and over, that's not a good thing. So,
Right.
I admit I make mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, and that's why I say own it and make it right.
Mm-hmm.
Most mistakes you make, you can make them right. It just takes a little bit of effort.
Right.
The first thing you have to do is just realize it.
Right.
And now I'm in the point in my life where I've realized a lot of these mistakes that I've made, and they've caught up to me. But the only way that I can get through making mistakes, own up to it, and try to make it right is prayer. I know you're not going to want to hear it, but I feel the only way that I can make things right is if I pray about learning for the clarity or the guidance to not make those mistakes anymore and work on those things. Because that's why God sent Jesus to the earth to die for our sins, to forgive us for our mistakes, because he understands we're only human. We're only human. So whatever mistakes that you make, we have redeeming salvation for those. And that is through Jesus. That is through Jesus, not through God, not through religion, not through church, not through giving what's it called? Paying like tithes, or giving whatever they call it, money to the church, not by drinking wine and eating the bread and the blood of Christ and the body of Christ and none of that. Jesus dying on the cross for our sins, and God sent him to earth for that fact. And that's where forgiveness starts, and that's where forgiveness ends. And without that, we're all fucking lost. We're all lost without God. So without Jesus, we lost. And yeah, there's natural consequences out there. Free will is a responsibility. What's important to accept about ourselves is that mistakes are what we do when we don't know any better. Those are learning tools. So at my stage in my life, I'm done making mistakes. I know better now. They're decisions, wrong decisions, right decisions. They're decisions. Maybe you just get away with it because you're still 17. But I think you're pretty smart and you're making the right decisions anyway. So I'm not worried about what you're doing. But there are people out there that make mistakes, and it happens. Nobody's perfect out here. I mean, you show me somebody that's perfect. I mean, maybe you're perfect. Maybe you've done everything right, Jasmine, in life. Maybe there's some perfect people out there. Hey, if you're perfect in the chat, put that you're perfect in the chat. If you're perfect, write that in the chat.
No, I mean, we all make mistakes. I feel like there's nothing
You know what I'm
wrong
saying?
with making mistakes. I mean, obviously, Rodney said it. Some mistakes are okay, some are not. There are different levels of things that you can do wrong that are forgivable, and some are not. But I mean, there's not a single person in the planet that's not going to make at least 5 dozen mistakes in their lifetime. Like, it's just a product of growing up,
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, there's levels to it. There's there's levels to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to look at a person and think, oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of going back on what I just said, but.
Well, you're a good person and you don't judge people. And I don't feel like you judge people. You don't hold grudges unless you're LeBron James.
I mean, it depends on the mistake, is what I'm saying. Like, it depends on what you've done wrong. But yep. I feel like just because you've made a bunch of small mistakes in your life, that doesn't make you any worse of a human being.
No, absolutely not. So we're going to keep it moving. That was a great conversation that we had. Thank you, Christopher Bynum. Thank you, Mel Bynum. Thank you, everybody in the chat for weighing in. We're going to bring on Mark Gonzalves next. Try to play some music, but it's not playing any music for me right now. So, we just going to keep rolling with the punches. That's what we do. Yeah, that's not playing no music. I don't know if the chat, if you can hear music, let me know. If not, I'm going to be right back. This is Butter on a Bagel podcast.
What? Can I talk to people?
Yeah, you keep talking.
Okay.
Yes, this is what you do yourself.
I don't know what we're going to talk about. So this is what started the whole Lightly Toasted conversation. He wanted me to have my own segment where I just talked about whatever I wanted. And then we decided to call it Lightly Toasted. But he didn't like that idea because it had negative connotations that I wasn't even thinking of. And he said if anyone was lightly toasted, it was him. And I'm not going to say what he was talking about, but I assume that most of you know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, hi Liz, hi Mel. They're talking right to me. I feel famous. Yeah, they said they don't hear any music.
It's a license to do anything.
Bring me along, I'm all on the scene.
Yeah, it's like that.
It wasn't working.
How are you?
All right.
I pressed it. Yeah, shout out to the Juice for having us, yo. We are live at the Juice 89.9. This is Providence, Rhode Island's only black-owned radio station out here. So this is a community radio station. But there's not very many black media outlets in Rhode Island, and it's at all whatsoever. So that is a big reason why we do the show here, and we chose to do the show here. We could have did this anywhere in the world, but we want to do this here at the Juice, and that's one of the reasons why, because we want to put on for the good things that they're doing here and keep the awareness up for the importance of black-owned media and community radio stations. I'm not hating on no other radio stations. Everybody do what you do. I mean, I feel like there's plenty of people out here. Everybody can do whatever you do without hating on the next person. That's fine. But what we choose to do is what we choose to do, and this is what we're doing. This is what we're pushing. So I really appreciate everybody who's in the chat right now. Thank you, Mel Bynum, for being with us. Kathy Reddy, Kristen Rose, baby girl. Rodney Newton, my guy, yo, we're gonna have you on here again soon. We just gotta, really get down what we're trying to do here, and it's support. And I want to just, introduce our next guest now. We're just lucky to have, someone in the studio right now that's been going through a lot of the things that we've been talking about as far as the injustices that continue to happen out here. And something that we really want to raise awareness of and continue to raise awareness for. And even if it's just us doing our little part, we're going to do what we can do to keep the pressure on for justice for Jamal. I think it's very important that we continue to use our platform the right way and in a responsible way, but in a way that we see fit and in a way that we can bring awareness to the things that a lot of people might have opinions on things. And I see it all the time, the hate that's out there and the hate that's generated all because we demand justice is not too much to ask. So I want to thank everybody. Introduce Mark Gonzalves Sr. He's got us on his Facebook Live as well. Is that Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook Live.
He's on the Facebook Live too. So if everyone's not aware, Mark Gonzalves Sr., the father of Jamal Gonzalves. Our prayers continuously go out for that young man. And the situation that happened it was in
October
18th. And it's a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
On
Thank
the
you.
circumstances, but yes, pleasure.
Yup.
Thanks for having me.
Right, under the circumstances, and let me know if you guys can't hear or if anything, if I gotta turn the microphones up or anything, but we're gonna try to do this so you guys can, get the best quality that we can give. But absolutely, under these circumstances, it's never a happy thing when we talk about things like this, but it's a necessary thing to keep the awareness going. And I think now we're demanding justice. It's not asking anymore, bro. We're not asking for this. We're not asking for them to do the right thing anymore, bro. Well, I personally, I'm not asking for it anymore.
It's not about asking for what we want. It's about what we deserve. What is ours, which is justice, man. Equal justice.
Yeah, equal justice, and in the eyes of the Lord, a lot of times things aren't equal out here. A lot of times it's all about what they want to do. It ends up being whatever they want to do. How all this came to be about? If you just want to tell a little bit of the background in your words, because I know everyone talks about this and that and puts it in their words, but I kind of just want to hear from your words.
Jamal, man, he's always, everything he's done, he becomes a master at. Anything he wanted to, do, man, like anything, man. I don't care what it is, something totally, opposite of him. If he wanted to do it, he'll do it, and he gets it right, that kind of first time try, getting it right the first time thing. He's always been a fighter, man, being the youngest out of his siblings, always a tough kid, like myself, struggled in school a little bit, not with doing the work, but comprehending kind of, because, things had to be explained a little more just because of, at least myself, I could say it in my words that it was because of my paying attention, my attention deficit.
Yeah, that was I had the same problem in high school. It's hard to pay attention and keep my focus.
Yeah. And then so he, got on my bike when he was 6 years old, you know,
Yeah.
from little Pep Boys, little 49cc joints. Everybody gets, you know, a lot of people get it, you know, the razor school and all that, you know, it's just,
Mm-hmm.
you know, knowing he would have taken things to the limits he did, you know, with his passion, you know. And just like a lot of these kids, man, it you know, this becomes an art. And you know, they get better at it because, you know, it's natural, you know.
He was a natural.
Yeah, man. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the kids in this community, man.
That Jazz is was a natural at softball.
He just had some opportunities to be able to, you know, my brother lived on a property with a lot of land. So when he first started riding, you know, my brother had some bikes and he'd go over there and they'd ride. You know, so he had a little more opportunity to ride in safer areas, you know, or at least legal, you know, areas. You know, and then my mother had a house and, you know, she had 2 acres and, you know, we cut trees down. We had a little path back there,
Nice.
you know, and, you know, for Christmas and birthdays, he wanted like screw guns and tool belts and shit and stuff, pardon me. You know, when other kids wanted, you know, little toy figures and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
He was in his back, man. He like,
that's what he was
worked
into.
with his hands,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, like, you know, not everybody can retain things, you know, when they read stuff, but, you know, like, even me to this day, you know, I go buy something from a store that I got put together. Usually I look at the picture, you know,
Right.
and then until it doesn't work at the end, and I gotta, but you know, that's how Jamal was, man. It stuck.
He's good with his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good, you know, and that's how in school he got into auto mechanics and stuff like that, you know, and you know, he would hustle, like he'd leave the house with a skateboard and come home with a dirt bike some kind of way. You know, like he was a hustler. Legally.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you know, he you know, I'm not saying he didn't like probably, you know, like know how to talk to a kid a little more than the kid understood. Because he had some parents knocking at the door a few times, but you know, talking about, you know, your son gave my son, you know, a couple toys for, you know, something, but you know, it was
but
fair.
it sounded like he was a go-getter though. I mean, that's what you want. That's what you want as a parent.
You know, he was a hustler, you know, and you know, and he was an entrepreneur, you know. He started, you know, he would find bikes at dumpsters and bring them home and then put parts together to make one bike and sell that bike. You know, he started trading things.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have reality shows for that stuff where, you know, they swap up, you know?
Yeah.
They get things and they swap and they end up with something way better at the end, you know? And that's what he would do, man. You know, and he's just such a good kid. You know, like kids loved him. Like kids older than him would follow him instead of kind of like it was just watching him grow up, man. You know, from the times I wasn't incarcerated, just seeing him grow up, man. Just, I mean,
sounds like he was a leader.
Yeah, man, he was, man, from the beginning, and he just knew he always knew what he wanted, man. And he did it on his own, you know. These are things he did, you know. You just gave him a little bit, and he did the rest. That's all he needed, you know. And you know, he was riding, you know, first year racing. He started on a 250 dirt bike. Before the season was over, he was riding a 450.
Yeah,
you know, won the championships his first year. You know, and racing. You know.
Yeah.
No,
450. That's got some boss.
Yeah, that's the boss bike.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
He only raced, you know, 3 years of his life. You know, and he ended up B class, sponsored, everything.
How old was he? When he started with the 450?
20, 21. You know.
Mm-hmm. How old is he now?
He's 24.
24.
You know. You know, he'll be 25 June.
Mm-hmm.
June 20th, man. And he just, I mean, he worked hard, you know, his fiance, Kendra, he started dating her when he was 15, man. And see, these are things I want people to recognize because, so even not just, kids, y'all's age and then people my age, but people older than me, know that this was their same passion to get that high school sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? To work hard, to get a house, to get engaged, before you have a child, and married. And then that's how it's, that's that white picket fence little dog running around the yard. That's what everybody's dream is.
Yeah, I always respect people that can
we
stay
all-
true to their high school sweetheart like
it
that.
doesn't have to go like that, but that's what the traditional, typical dream is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how books are written.
That's the
Like
American dream.
storybooks and stuff when we're kids. That's what we're taught. And he was doing that.
Right.
We were with his fiance for 9 years, man. They were high school sweethearts. He was with his job, the same company for 5 years plus. That shows commitment. That shows dedication. You know what I'm saying? And not it doesn't say that it all happened perfectly from the start, but it shows that he stuck with it until it got right. And no criminal history. Never been arrested.
I think they need to hear that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I try to say. His worth traffic citation, like 10 miles over the limit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's got his license.
Right.
For you talking about no plate. Well, you know what? This is COVID. You go buy something and see how easy it is to register it today, tomorrow, next week, next month.
You can.
All right? And
take a little bit.
Everything he had, he got a car and a truck that he paid for cash, and those are registered. Every street bike he had, scooter, motorcycle, everything was registered. His license never had a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? So and then people, talk about, the day of, when this happened that, well, wasn't he eluding? Wasn't he, well, yeah, he kind of was eluding and evading, but for his safety, because, even in the video, if it doesn't prove anything, it proves that they didn't have no lights on. Like, when you ever see a cop pull someone over with no lights, no siren, you don't see that.
No.
You don't have to pull over. They even tell us when it's a cop in an unmarked car, we don't got to put our windows down and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Crack your window, give them your license.
Everybody has rights. He has rights.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that's true. And there weren't any lights on. There weren't no sirens on.
No sirens,
I'm
man.
just going by what I saw. And
listen, they let that cop, them cops that got involved, that got themselves involved, because I seen a cop with lights on, but just following. He just followed. That's what the law states they can do. That cop went straight into Cranston, just like, straight up Elmwood. He did, you know what I'm saying? He did it how the law is written, how he's supposed to do it. He wasn't all up on him, tailgating. He wasn't on his ass, endangering him, threatening him by having an SUV with a crash bar right up on you while you on a little scooter.
yeah, that's not right.
Like, man,
right,
the
man.
fear that you
Right.
feel.
It ain't right.
Come on, man. Like, and like, they let all them dirt bikes, and quads and, things that even if it wasn't COVID and you couldn't get arrested, you couldn't get arrested.
I see.
Because you got to have, lights and mirrors and, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they let all that go by.
Right.
And then they let a scooter, they go behind a scooter. And they didn't have a plate until they got behind it. If anything, if they're saying if that's the reason you didn't know he didn't have a plate. You can't see it until he goes by you. Ain't no front plates on bikes.
They targeted him, man.
You know what I'm saying?
He was a little bit behind the pack, so they targeted
Yeah,
him, man. That's
well,
what they
you
do,
know,
man. That's what they do.
Yeah, well, it
They
started earlier too. So, apparently, and from what I was told, like a week prior, he got pepper sprayed. They just drove by and pepper sprayed him, like going the opposite way. That's what some of these cops were doing.
I believe
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
I
It's
believe
not
it.
all the cops that's doing it like this. Some are doing it right.
It's not. It's
You know
not
what I'm
all
saying?
of them, but
Nah,
some of
man.
them are doing this
Yeah,
stuff.
hell yeah. Some of them
Yeah.
are getting real grimy. You know,
Real
like
grimy. Real
the
deal
same
grimy.
thing. You know, like what happened the other night with them bikes? They arrested them people real quick. They swung that girl to the side, to the street asphalt,
Yeah, and that
without
was,
even knowing a crime was committed. They don't know if did they see why her bike was laying down or why she was standing there. Like did they see that happen? Like they arrested them real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, how come this cop's not arrested? You know, I'm waiting for the AG right now to give us something on that.
well,
You know?
I think a lot of it, and not to get too ahead, because you made a lot of really good points there, and there's a lot of things we could talk about that, because it wasn't right. They were on his ass. They rode him into a wall.
Tailgating. If you're saying if intent can't be proven, then at least what can be proven that is he was being tailgated.
There's no chase law in Rhode Island.
Then they say, oh, we weren't chasing him. Oh yeah, well, I've never seen 6 cops jump out of a cop car, out of their each of their cop cars, right, and run up to a traffic citation and drag someone by their arm for a traffic citation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you weren't chasing them, why did 6 cops skid up? You know what I'm saying? That was a felony stop situation. That's how they handle felonies. You know what I'm saying?
And he was a good kid.
Yeah.
Like you said, this is a kid that, with his high school sweetheart still,
who is standing by him?
multiple cars registered legally the right way.
Yep.
Had tenure at his job for how many years?
5 plus.
5
Just
plus
got
years
approved
tenure.
for a big house loan. Numbers don't need to be, but
right. But this was a good kid doing things the right way.
Yeah, man.
And too many people have been putting all the bad stuff out there. Oh, you shouldn't have been doing this, or you're not supposed to do this and that. No, this was a good kid. And I swear, if he was a white kid, they wouldn't have been on him like that. And I swear, half the people that are hating wouldn't be hating like that. If he was a white kid from a nice, rich part of town, well, they could have swept it under the rug.
I'll say this.
That's one of.
I agree but disagree on that. I ain't going front. All right. Yep. So maybe after it happened, how it was handled, but really you couldn't tell his color. He was all geared, gloves, you know what I'm saying, helmet, but it's about community, man. Mm-hmm. So, to me, some people you could call it what you want, but I'm not pulling a race card. Because for one, right. I don't know, the cop, he could marry to a black chick. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, or a Spanish chick, or a woman of color, we'll say. But it's a community thing. They go around, they're around certain communities harder than they are the communities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And because there's some white kids that, that's hanging with people of color that get it just as hard. But, for hundreds of years, yes. It's you're either black or white. You know what I'm saying? That's what me and Ruckus and them were talking about earlier. So I like to try to bring up a community thing, because this is a community action thing, man. Because there's kids of all shades of colors and ethnical backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? That were out there.
So let me put it this way, then. What if it was a bunch of Harleys? I see Harleys riding, there'll be like 30, 40 Harleys riding out, so you don't see cops chasing them. Right. And I promise you, at least got to be 1 or 2 of them that are not registered.
No doubt. So
what is it? Only brown people in this community don't have registered vehicles, and you could chase them and target them. You're being real, man, and I think it's just crazy that there's so much hate put on it, and they don't even know a lot of the situation. But I appreciate you telling like the good things about him. because more people need to know that.
Yeah, man.
And
this is, you know, I'm involved. I was involved with community action prior to this situation. You know, I fight with DARE. You know, I'm the Direct Action for Rights and Equality, which we do community activist, you know, action things.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
Formerly incarcerated union. You know, for you know, so when people are released from prison, you know what I'm saying, of all shades, that they have successful reentries to society. You know what I'm saying? I've worked with, you know, Harold Metz and Governor Raimondo's people. You know, like I've worked with people like that. You know, and it's about community. But it just so happens that, you know, I have a name to put with this, and see, so there's other things that's going on, but everybody needs to support, because right now, man, there's less things to be able to point a finger at about this. So this is a good time to get involved with action, man, because, you know, if you're gonna fight, man, you know, people want to fight, you know, and they want to get involved with something that they feel that is going to be just, well, man, if you ever learn about pros and cons, there's definitely less bad, you could say, than good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get involved, man. I try to post some things, you know, and end up being, you know, the only one out there, but I'm still gonna be, and I'm still gonna fight for your kids too, for your fathers too, you know, for your brothers and sisters too,
Mm-hmm.
you know, even when you're not there, you know.
We went our lives off right now. The stream went out, I guess. So let me see if we can get it back real quick. Hold on, because we're not live right now. No, that's dope though, because they need to hear it. You still good?
It's not working on mine either.
We're still Facebook Live though.
Okay, you're still live, right?
Yeah.
It was the Twitch
Yeah.
that's still on.
The Twitch is still on?
It's still, both is still on.
Okay, we're still good?
It's still good.
Working for me. The sound and video are out.
Hold on.
You might have to refresh it, but it's good over here.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all saying sound and video both went out.
Well, while you're doing that, right, let me just, you know, bring my people on my Facebook aware to where I'm at right now.
Okay.
You know, the name of the studio.
It's the Jewish
You know.
Studio, Butter on a Bagel podcast. So you can check the live feeds on there. I'm about to put the live feed back on.
Yep.
This is the only black-owned radio station in Providence.
Yeah.
We do this here.
Ruckus been fighting
Ruckus,
for it.
DJ
Ruckus been
Ruckus.
down with everything from I've known Ruckus for, I can't even, you know, since I was a teenager.
Yeah,
So,
man.
you know.
I grew up buying his mixtapes,
Yeah.
man, when I was her age. So,
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So I respect what he's doing. And a lot of times out here, there's so much division. So we know that there's division. Okay, so what are we gonna do about it? So that's why I try to have a platform where we can at least try to bring people together, and we can embrace. Okay, if there's division, okay, we get it. People's not happy with everybody. There's stuff that behind the scenes I don't know. You know, people don't know, but I'm learning. People learning stuff.
Why do you think the government has so many people? You know what I'm saying? The president don't make a decision by himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The government, they fight against each other. But that's why there's so many voices, so it can be a majority. You know, because you're never going to get 100% to agree with 100%. So, I mean, you know, we need to stop looking for that and just keep fighting.
Right.
Just keep
And
fighting.
that's what I feel this year is. We're really going to keep pushing. This year, really, I had a discussion with her about some of the things where we're going with this, and I really want to trust her what she wants to do with it. Because when she goes to college, I can do my thing. I can do my own podcast. But while she's here,
And this is your daughter,
this
right?
is my daughter.
Yeah.
She's 17. She's a senior in high school. She's going to college next year somewhere in Florida.
You go to high school out here?
I go to high school in Warwick.
All right. Well, because like that's something I've even done. when the high school, when they were trying to, with people with convictions, trying to stop people from doing volunteer work for community like Pop Warner and schools and stuff like that, you know, and the city was saying, oh, we'll pay for, BCI checks and everything. I'm like, man, you ain't even paying the teachers that are already working enough money. You're talking about creating another budget that's going to go against the budget you're working with now. Like, you know, but I've done, you know, these are things that we all need. You can't fight every fight, you know. So, but pick something, man. Get involved with something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
And that's how
that way, and you know, that way your focus is with that, man. You know, and if we all pick something, then we don't have to be involved with every little thing because we know our brothers and sisters are down with something else fighting for it. When I'm fighting for this, I know, you know, somewhere else, in another community, another station, you know, there's somebody else fighting.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the only way we're gonna get anything done, man.
Yeah, we're taking a stand we're making a stand this year. Last year, a lot of people started making a stand on a lot of these situations going on because, you know, just the George Floyd situation and Breonna Taylor and all these things. And now we're seeing people, okay, it ain't right, and people are taking a stand. So I feel like you gotta stand for something.
Yeah, and
this is what we stand for.
So, like, when this first happened on that first protest, man, you know, there's people, you know, they had that little barricade by the station, and, you know, all these people making these threats and, you know, yelling at the cops and everything, right? But then when the cops started walking and grabbed a couple of them little young dudes up, which happened, one of them happened to be Jamal's cousin, put him in intensive care, you know what I'm saying? Didn't nobody jump out in that street to help him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh,
you know,
yeah.
like, yeah, man.
Right,
like,
right.
Stop making noise. Stop barking if you ain't gonna bite. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be with bricks and stones to bite, man. Get an education. Learn how to, you know, because you can be the baddest fighter, man. But, you know, politics and laws are done through books and stuff, through education. You know, it doesn't take a strong man to get a bill passed. It takes a smart man. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like now that we started to have, we just had the elections, and we have some new representation.
This is another reason it's important time, man, because then we're looking at our elected officials right now, seeing what they're doing. So them same people you voted on, right? Are they doing their just work? Are they doing what you expect them to do? When it really, man, forget them little street ordinance rules. You know, are they doing what they're doing that involves you? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Are they really standing up to the word, their word, and the elements and the things that they stood on when they was running? Are they really gonna stay true to that while they're in office and continue to fight for us? And I have hope for a lot of them, because we've met Jessica Vega, we've met Tiara, we've talked with Tiara Mack, Brianna Henrys, we've been talking to her, we're gonna have her on. David Morales, we're gonna have him on. I talked to Shondell Burney Speaks about having the mayor Alorza on, and you know, I want to get these people, because we need to have discussion about what their goals are. How are they going to help? How are they going to make a difference for us? And what are the ways they're going to do it? Not saying, okay, now I expect that from them, but please tell us how you're going to help. How can we get
them on camera, get them on video stating this stuff. So, you know, you got to know how to get them to say what you want. So they got to follow through with it, man. You got to hear that voice, you know, because then they got to follow that, you know, and you know, you catch them off guard. That's why I stopped posting things. You know, for one thing, state police were showing up, you know, and then I would just post it like an hour before, you know, thinking that just by putting, you know, Jamal's name that, you know, it would tag everybody and people would support. But man, it ended up, you know, nobody coming and stuff, but whatever.
I think you're doing it the right way. You're doing it in a way that people are getting the message the right way. And
I got a criminal history.
Right.
You know, I've dealt with guns, drugs, you know, violence, you know, abuse, you know what I'm saying? Trauma, mental illness. I work in the mental illness field now, helping people with mental illness and addiction. What's today, the 4th or the 5th?
Today's the 5th.
Yesterday made 4 years clean for me. You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations.
No drugs, not just a substance, but a clean state of mind where I'm making clean decisions. And that creates a good energy, man.
Yes.
Make some good decisions in life, man. And that energy just follows, man.
Yeah. And that's what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the same energy all year.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna be demanding some changes. Like I'm not nobody. They don't have to listen to me, but I'm going to make sure that we have a platform that we can at least talk about it and bring awareness to it. I don't need to be famous. I'm doing this to be famous, but I feel like there was stuff I had to get off my chest. She had to get off her chest, and
just know when you speak though that people are listening. You know what I'm saying? Because like I see people with these megaphones at these protests, and some are saying some things like, "Yo, you don't realize like there's wordplay," and then like I said, not everybody understands like we do. What you understand doesn't mean everybody understands it. You know what I'm saying? So be careful what you say because people are listening. If they're there and they got their Facebook on and they're watching or whatever they're doing, that means they're listening. So what you say, you know what I'm saying, can influence them. So, a wise man once said to me, man, and a wise woman, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to, in this recovery thing, tell me, Mark, you don't always have to, big up Laura, Amos House. You don't always have to, have an answer right away, because they started scaring me because of my story before all this, with the Newport Bridge, and getting into mental illness and addiction. People were coming to me looking for and for answers and direction. And it's scary because I did see that, the wrong answer, the wrong direction, can change that person's life, whether they continue to have life. So, just be careful what you say, man, because there's people listening and watching and following.
Yeah, we gotta be responsible.
Man.
The messages that
education.
we put out.
Get that education.
Yeah, it's true. And I've learned myself because I'm not the highest educated, but I went to New England Tech. I was good with my hands. I did what I had to do. A lot of this, I did what I had to do. But a lot of this, it's not easy to get out there and talk to people and keep it 100 and do it in a way that they're gonna understand. But a lot of times it's just that fake stuff out here where people are doing it for the clout, or people are doing it to big up themselves, and that's why I try to do it in a way that it's the right thing. Where I want you guys' message to be the clear message.
Listen, people are gonna find out about you. I mean, so if you don't understand books and all that, right? Let me put it in this analogy. Look at rappers, right? You know what I'm saying? Boy, they'll find out. If you from the hood, if you're about what you're rapping about, if you know about choppers and all that, they'll find out, man. Look at your boy 69. Well, but
exactly.
Just know what the hell you're talking about, man, or just stay silent. You don't always have to have an answer or say something. At least not right away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
that's the big thing where a lot of times your mouths get us in trouble out here. But the way that the world is working right now, we have to take a stand, and we have to be able to get behind people that know how to get the platform, know what they're talking about, and it's all about knowledge. So that's why I bring you guys on. Try to bring on community leaders that know what they're talking about. And I just try to learn. It's just a learning experience for me, man. But I'm passionate in what I believe in. So I feel we're always gonna we have to stand for what we believe in. And
man,
that as long as we stand behind something,
you ain't gonna
don't be
fight
flip flopping and stuff.
You ain't gonna fight for who is. Because look what happened to people even saying they were fighting for Jamal. They weren't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they at?
Yeah. Yeah, so I know I'm not sure if the live feed is completely in. We're working on that right now. But who's been helping you out, like as far as who's been coming and supporting you and what can
Well, you guys with the invite, big up Jeremy Costa, man.
Jeremy Costa is real good.
He's a very vocal, active person, man. He'll get your ear, man. He's an intelligent dude. He's from the grind. He's not just talking about something he don't know what he's talking about. But somewhat the mayor reached out. You know what I'm saying? Of Providence. He reached out to help out getting my son into the first hospital we were trying to get in. He actually reached out from the very, very beginning. First of all, I didn't know because I tell people don't leave a voicemail, and people still, for some reason, leaving voicemails. But
you don't even check them, man.
I don't listen to him.
Yeah.
But he reached out, man, and he made some phone calls, and I appreciate that. Our family, we thank him for that. Right now Jamal's in New Jersey at acute neuro acute care hospital called Kessler. They're fourth in the country. And just a quick update on his condition. He's moving, right? So when this happened, he didn't need any stitches. He didn't have no splits, no scrapes, nothing, right?
Right.
The impact from being hit across a 4-foot sidewalk. This is something before we close out too, I want to make sure everybody takes some time to think about, right? So, Jamal was a $190 plus. The scooter was 200 plus. That stop sign is about 100 pounds or something like that, right? A sidewalk is 4 feet wide. You know what I'm saying? Because that's state spec.
Right.
All three of those things. Two things in my son's life was pushed in a corner on the opposite side of the sidewalk. He hit that wall. So I bring up the point of him not having any stitches or scrapes or anything like that, right? No swollen eyes and nothing, right? Except for the pressure that was from the impact. So he hit that wall. He had a helmet on. So it's like, these football players, what they're getting nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's like Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? It's like shaken baby syndrome.
Right.
He hit that wall with such impact, right? Through his helmet. You know what I'm saying? Which you're not going to do on a scooter hitting a curb. And why were them cops picking up his scooter, right? Bringing it to the curb. So from the beginning, they realized what he did, and they're trying to clean it up. Oh, he hit the curb. So they tried to put the bike against the curb. Why you do that, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they started moving around.
Yeah, that's obstruction. You're getting involved with the investigation by doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's criminal.
It is
criminal. And if they're saying, there was no intent, he didn't intentionally did it, right? So I want to know what he said when the body cam that everyone's seen on the news shows him picking up his radio. What he said, because right after he said whatever he said, that's when the other cops pulled out and everything. You know what I'm saying? So that shows intent. You know what I'm saying? I do know, about some criminal justice, some law and all that, and yes, a video doesn't show intent, right? But when you have other things, it makes things come together and makes sense at the end, right? Mm-hmm. So we need to know what he said on that radio, what the other people said, and like if you ever watch Cops or anything, right? When they do a pit maneuver, they got to call that in and get a supervisor's authorization. So did they call in a supervisor? So then that involves that supervisor. You know what I'm saying? Because the supervisor told him, go ahead, you can hit the back of his scooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot of questions unanswered.
There's a proper way to do things, and the reason why they have that proper way to do things is that way they can't just start moving evidence around, and they can't just start creating their own crime scene how they see fit. And a lot of times, even though they got the body cameras on them, those body cameras, even the footage that they dropped, it looked like it was edited a little bit. I just feel like, add that to also the Bill of Rights that they have. So there's a Bill of Rights that the police department
Harold
has.
is in charge. He's on top. He holds the seat for that.
So the Bill of Rights is something where they have their own Bill of Rights where they adhere to those instead of what,
well, they still have to. There's still law, but like it's a union thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they're protected.
Yeah,
because and see that's what happens.
They're protecting each other.
Because there's multiple voices that standing behind them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need. That's why we need more people, more faces, more voices involved in everything we're doing, man, when it comes to, not just the bad things, man. Don't just come out when you want to break a window or throw a brick, man. Come out and support some positive things and be creative and try to think of some positive things,
Right. And that's why when we talk about this stuff, that's why we got to spread awareness for the things that are already in action. So when we demand action, we're not just sitting here picketing and protesting. That's necessary, yes. But now to take it to the next step, now we demanding the action. Where is it coming from? So who is active? So Harold Metz is being active in.
Well, Harold Metz is senator. But he's I don't know when because he was somebody else was voted
was sworn
in. So I don't know if that seat for the Bill of Rights thing still stands with him not being senator. I don't know if it has to be, but it's not just that, man. But just and see that's why education is important, man, because I'm involved in some things and I don't know that answer. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if you don't, man, and that's what they do. They try to put that wordplay and trickery on us, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they trying. Yeah. They trying, but right now, the way the things are going, things are definitely going to change. And I believe things are going to change. And things are in motion to be changed. So we need to keep the pressure on and keep supporting those things that are in change. And there's only so much of the stuff that we can talk about this and that. That demand for action means we have to follow up, find out where the changes happen and what those changes are, who's involved with it, who can we support and keep it going. So that's why Harold Metz, that was great that he's doing that. And now that he's not gonna be in the office anymore, we need to pick up the slack where he left off. Whether that's gonna be Tierra Mack, whether it's gonna be someone else, someone new. I know Jeremy Costa's been very vocal about it. Who else is on your side right now that we can? I mean, not to put people's business out there, but it's like, where can we keep the awareness? Where should we focus our awareness? I mean,
social media, man, is one of the biggest things. Yep. So, if you don't want to come out, and be in front of the AG's office, you know what I'm saying? You can go on your own Facebook, man. You can do Facebook Live yourself and speak your mind. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just educate yourself, man, and be vocal. Mm-hmm. When you know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because once they can see, I told you, that's what they wait for. They wait for that. So be careful. So you don't mess, because your intentions and everything might be the best, but man, you say the wrong thing, man, it gets twisted all up.
Yeah, they try to twist it. Yeah. I've been a part of that way. I've been in some of these chats in a channel 10 NBC 10, some of these chats that you see, the streams and the threads are just going way left, and you just see everything that they're talking about, and it's like, all right, so I'm gonna weigh my opinion, and then they're just gonna keep regurgitating the same shit all over again. Like, yo, we haven't heard that already. Like, bro, you're just copying what the dude above you posted. You're basically saying the same thing, bro. Like, we heard that already.
People, man.
You gotta understand our point of view now. Because we've listened and you're regurgitating, and they're gonna keep it.
It's
crap
crazy
after
some
crap
of the
after
growth
crap.
that comes out of some
So-
people's mouth, man.
And
Some dude
it's
said, I
crazy,
hope he
man.
can operate a wheelchair as good as he can, better than he can operate a bike.
Man.
Like,
I saw
what-
that. I
like,
did
why
see
you
that.
go on somebody else's page and put a comment on something working for prayers?
Yup.
You know what I'm saying?
But you
Like,
know-
I wasn't, on that post, we weren't trying to blow someone. We were just asking for prayers.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and
exactly.
like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But for my energy, that's why I just was telling people, yo, you know what? Pray for that person. Pray. That person needs prayers, man.
That's right.
Pray for him.
That's right. You pray for the enemies, man. You pray for them for clairvoyance for them, so they can get clarity in the situation. Because if not, then that they're gonna go their whole life just being a hateful person.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when we keep seeing that over and over, and we see how the people want to react to this and be like that, just be assholes like that, they hate this.
Yeah.
They hate what we're doing,
Yeah.
because we're gonna keep. They hate when they see you get
Well,
support,
when
bro.
we know what we're doing. When we're doing what we're doing, and we know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
Because they love when we do it and we throw up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we say something stupid.
Yeah, but you're getting a lot of
They love
support.
that.
You are getting support, and
It's
whatever we can do to keep trying to get the awareness out there, we're gonna keep doing.
No, look at it as you ain't supporting me, you
Right.
supporting yourself.
All right.
Yourself, man.
Yeah.
You know? This could have happened to anybody. You know?
Right. So, just prayers go out for your son, man.
Thank you. Again, when we at listen,
We're at the
introduce-
Juice. We're at 89.9 the Juice. We're
This
in
is father and daughter right here.
Providence, the Butter on a
Beautiful
Bagel.
thing, man.
Yeah, Butter on a Bagel podcast, father-daughter podcast.
Yeah, man.
We've been doing this for the last 3 months, so we got another 3 months. We're gonna be doing it here. She's gonna be off to college soon,
Good luck.
then
Thank you.
and the things that we stand for, we're gonna keep standing for those things. Try to tell her, we gotta stand for something. And she's opening my eyes too a lot, and what she says, because she's not about all that being unbiased and bringing on people for debates and all that. Nah, she just wants to speak the real facts.
Yeah, no doubt.
She wants to bring on, speak the truth and her opinion, and get her opinion out and get our opinion out. And if they align, who they align with, that's who we bring it on. That's who we rocking with.
That's how things are done.
Right. And we rocking with the people that was rocking with us. And a lot of times in these situations, last year was a crazy year, and we found out who's doing it for what reasons. We found out who's protesting for what reasons, for themselves, for their name, for their company, for their clout, and who's really doing it with their right heart, with the heart in the right place. So I pray that I can try to keep my heart in the right place for her, and what we keep doing is something genuine and not fake. So we just,
There's
appreciate
people
you coming.
that, their heart can be in the right place, man. Like, even the people that were throwing bricks and stones and stuff, yeah, your heart, but just know it's effective. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want to tear some shit up too, and it's been effective. Both Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were both very effective, proactive people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just know, where they left off, and think about when you do something because you're saying there's a cause behind it, the effect it's gonna cause. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's a big thing where picking up where they left off, and I know people that picked up where that. And those are generations before us, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people out here been fighting for a long time. When I see like Anastasia Williams, she's been fighting for a long time. Guys like Harold Metz, man, you've been fighting for a long time out here. So that's why I feel it was my job to step in, and they need us to step up and start picking up the fight too. And hopefully, if I do that, maybe I could reach my daughter. Maybe, and she already has that spirit in her. She was blogging for Gen Z. I didn't even know she was blogging for them. And I was like, oh wow! I was like, she might be ready to come do this with me. So now she pick up the slack where I left off. She could be better than me, you know. And that's where.
One more example of like why I try not to throw, skin color involved, without facts and stuff. Because you spoke of Harold Metz. So one of the things that a bill that we had passed was called fair chance licensing. It's for people with criminal records to be able to get their occupational license. Mm-hmm. So someone like me, can be a licensed social worker, a licensed, community, just thing, anything that you need an occupational license for, not a certification. So, Harold Metz sponsored that, but also a white man, House of Representative Scott Slater. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you segregate, somebody else with some power and some voice that can help, you're going to lose them. You know what I'm saying? Right. So be careful on how you do that. Yeah. That's why, when I say community, it's because everybody in our communities are suffering. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I know, man. I know. But just like I said earlier, we got to pick out what we're fighting for and let somebody else fight for some things, because it's not that I don't support, what I'm saying, about, the injustice of people of color, for hundreds of years and Black people and, but, like I gotta, if I'm going to use my voice, I got to be real on how I think it's going to be effective. And the fact that, I'm biracial. Jamal's nana was white. His other nana was Black, Native American. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't want to segregate some of my own family from support.
That's cool, man. I hear you, man, because a lot of times, you're right, because you could be segregating yourself away from someone that wants to help you.
That can help the cause. Like I said, both Harold Metz and Scott Slater sponsored that bill that got passed that is effective for everybody in our communities that is suffering from stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's just an example, man.
Nah, mad respect for that, man. Mad respect. And that's why we're picking up the torch. And I'm trying to pick up the torch, and hopefully Jazz picks it up from me. Hopefully we can continue to build this platform and build our voices and our platform. So I don't need everybody to follow what we do, but at least they can wait. If it just reaches one or two people, it reaches somebody, and maybe it'll help.
That one person might, one person might be that next elected, official that has that power of a voice that makes that difference in change. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obama. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Nah, it's true.
We need that.
So I appreciate you coming on, man. I know it's starting to get late. I know we could do this all night, man. I could rap with you all night, about this, because
it's not like when you turn off the lights, I'm gonna walk out and jump in my car. We're still gonna build. And see how we can move forward, together some more.
I'm with that, man. I'm with that. Whatever we can do to help. This is what she wants. I'm trying to do for this show, and she wants to make sure. She wants to keep me. She wants to keep me on point as far as not being fake and biased. Like, she knows that, like, what she wants is what we're gonna do, man. And she really been supporting a lot of these things that the youth don't really think about a lot of this stuff. And it's just crazy to see, like, some young people like her and others that do. This is what they're thinking about. They want to see the change for the better. and they want to be in a position they can make a change, and whatever it takes, we gotta build it up. We're gonna build it up. I feel like the youth is really gonna be the ones that's gonna,
You gotta push that education.
push
Big
it.
up.
Yeah,
Good luck in
push the
college,
education.
Even the Klan,
Keep
man.
going.
Even the Klan's getting some degrees, man. Think about that.
Woo. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like they learning, they trying to build up for what they're building up, and it's a war, man. They think it's a war. That's how they cheat it, man. Like a lot of people don't think like that. They just living their everyday lives, thinking about whatever they're doing, and they're not really opening their mind to seeing the things that's going on in our community.
I like what you just said. Open their minds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta be open minded. You have to have an open mind, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if we're stuck on something, man, we'll be stuck in the past.
Right.
The only way things are gonna change tomorrow is to be open and flexible about today, man.
Yeah. And we gotta figure it out one way or another. We gotta figure out how to keep making these changes. Yeah. Where does the energies go? Where our efforts go to is really to going to the right direction.
And don't just wait till something bad happens to you or your close friend or family member. Man.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Yeah,
because
then a lot of times it's too late.
Yeah, that's what people do. They don't believe it until it's right next door to them.
Pay attention. We're waiting for the AG. We're waiting for his decision to see if these officers or any officers guilty of anything. Shit. So they ran in the back of my son with a 5,000-pound SUV with a crash bar over a traffic citation. Well, if I pulled up out here when I came here tonight and I crashed up on a stop sign on the sidewalk and a cop saw it, I would have got a ticket. Did that cop at least does everybody know they're still getting paid? Everybody's still on the books right now. Yeah. So my tax dollars that I'm working for, I'm paying these cops that were criminally involved and did to my son by their decisions, whether it was intentional. Criminal negligence is a law not based on intent. You don't need intent. Google it. You go on your damn computer for every other thing, looking up girls and their status. Look up some laws and some education, man.
Yeah, it's a fact. And it's time to focus on that. I mean, everyone's going through some crazy stuff. I get it. It's a lot of things going on, like family issues, people going through different stuff. But take that time to step outside of that and see how you can help the community, or how you can even just lend an ear or talk to somebody about how can I make a difference, or how can we do something that's positive for the community instead of just being so selfish, thinking about yourself. Like, I see it a lot out here, and I've been seeing it. So that's kind of why I created some of these platforms, so we can create our own lanes where we can affect things how we want to, instead of just taking it. We just taking it. We taking it from all these media outlets, these platforms out here, Channel 10, whatever, the John DePetros, the Gene Valacentis, all these people that we just taking it, man. Right. And what we don't have anywhere to clap back. We don't have any clap back because we can't get enough respect. They're gonna keep sitting on us because we don't have a clap back for them. So they're gonna keep doing it. Yep. So that's why it's so important that we find where we can support, ways that we can create our own lane so we can make sure that it's fair. We're gonna get the same coverage.
They're gonna try to hold us back. Yeah. Look how hard it was for Oprah and Tyler Perry to get their own studios and stuff.
Yeah.
With all that money they had. Because they know the power that comes behind that. That comes behind a voice and social media and through those wires that go through every state and everybody's TV.
Yeah, exactly. And we look at it over time and time again. Like once they see you get to a certain level, they're gonna try to, they're gonna come at you. They're gonna come for you.
Assassinate you, man. Either physically or assassinate your character.
Yeah.
To try to, so nobody will support you.
Yeah, but nowadays, we gotta be careful how we move. But at the same time, we're demanding action. We're demanding change. There's no more asking for this stuff. We've been through this. We went through this. The Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King, from some of my guys like Bob Marley, Muhammad Ali. These are people that stood, they wanted to change, like Michael Jackson, whatever you want. But he stood for change. That's what he stood for love and stuff.
Marvin Gaye through his music.
Right, Marvin Gaye. So we just trying to pick up the torch. And right now it's 2021. We just went through the craziest year where we seen so much F shit out there.
Let's find a place for these people to ride, man.
Yeah.
People were putting all this stuff on our posts, well, if you got time to go on our posts saying some negative stuff, how about doing a little research to help us find a place for these kids to ride, you know what I'm saying? Or ways to do it, hey, ship in and get a U-Haul and drive them to the damn tracks where there is a state with a track.
Right.
Why Rhode Island don't have tracks, man?
So let's talk about that, man. So is that
yes, we can.
Can we talk
whatever
about
you
that?
want to say we can do? Yes, we can.
So there's no legal places to ride out here. Is that the gist I'm getting on some of these threads? It's not legal to ride a 4-wheeler in Rhode Island. So
listen, when them razor scooters came out, right? We lived in this housing complex in Middletown, right? And when the razor scooters first came out, kids were getting hit. They were riding on the street and everything. So cops were trying to confiscate them and everything, right? So cop tried to take my oldest son's little razor scooter, and it wasn't even a razor scooter. It was looked like a regular scooter, just like the ones, but it was electric. I bought it from Benny's, right? That's dope. So he tried to, take it, and I happened to be out there, and I'm like, nah, you're not taking it, well, they're not allowed to ride them on the street. I said, well, then go after the manufacturers and these stores selling them, because we're supposed to ride them.
They selling them.
I said, so all right, hold on. And this is why it's good to be smart. I said, all right, so he can't ride it on the street, right? I said, so he can ride it in the dirt and grass and stuff. He said, yeah. I said, all right. I said, Ma. I said, go to these houses on your scooter in the grass. When you get to a sidewalk, get off it, walk it across the sidewalk, and then jump back on it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So there's a loophole for that too. Right. So that's what we need to do. But not find loopholes to be deceptive and break laws, but find loopholes to make it work for safety and with good intentions, man. That's an art, man. These kids, that's an art. They don't know how to ride these bikes like that because, that's, some kids, man, that's all they got. Yeah. Their parents are, their moms is prostituting, their father's in jail, and they got that bike, man. And instead of going out grabbing a gun and robbing a store, they get on them bikes with other kids, because that's what other kids are doing. And it's safe as long as they're sitting on the seat. So it's just finding a place to put the wheels on, so they can ride safe.
Yeah, they're not hurting anybody. And it's the people that were they was driving. They was driving in front of you, they was getting in my way. You live in Rhode Island, nobody know how to drive out here anyway. So you're gonna blame them. I'll drive down the street right now and might get hit by some old lady that wasn't looking and get cut off.
I tell people all the time, I never had road rage, so I moved to Providence, I'll tell you that. But
and so you're gonna get on these kids around their bike saying it's not safe, but you can't even go out here and not run in.
I mean, I've had problems with tons of drivers in cars. I've never had a problem with someone on a bike.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Well, there's good and bad about but
being responsible.
But you told them no alternative, man. Yeah. It's a passion. You can't stop someone's passion, man.
Right.
You know, they're gonna do it.
It's true.
So just give them a place, man.
Yeah, just like these trigger happy cops, it's their passion to shoot us.
Allow some,
allow
some. You give these bars and clubs, a pass. What you call it? A permit to put a bar in the middle of the street and sell alcohol.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But you won't give these kids a permit to be able to, put barriers on each side of a street so they can ride.
Right. It's okay to have a liquor store on every corner.
More people die in a year from alcohol-related crimes and traffic, things than they do of violence, man.
It's true. It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, shit.
It's all about what they want to. They
But that's
try to
why the
make an
education's
example. They try to make examples out of people just so that they can go back to their lives and live their happy lifestyle, thinking that they're doing something great. When really, you go to their neighborhoods, there's just as much crime. There's bad stuff going on. They're just not telling you about it.
Well, they don't get involved until it gets to their neighborhoods. Right. Just like the opiate drug addictions and stuff. Man, they didn't want to have. They ain't start helping with that until it was their sons and daughters and nephews and neighbors' kids that were, shooting dope and living in their neighborhoods. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, whoa. This guy.
Now you see the commercials.
Yeah. We don't got a fence between our property. Hold on.
Yeah, but they put crack in the urban areas.
So
and they put that stuff in the urban areas. And then they just let you run. They let them run. That's what they want. They want to put it in these urban areas. And I feel like, I swear, this is one reason why I started this program was because they was talking so much junk about Providence people saying, oh, Providence the city, or you're going to get shot, or you can't even go out in Providence, or you're going to get stabbed. Everyone's a low life. Oh, everyone's scumbags in Providence. Oh, you got Lincoln kids. You got
Central churches.
You got Central Falls kids going to playing in Lincoln, and then the Lincoln kids are yelling, "Go back to Mexico!" and they screaming, "America, America!" Because you got kids from Central Falls going to play in school, and they talk so much junk about our city, bro. We can't keep letting that stuff slide. I know it's tough out there. Trust me, I know. I see it every day. You go down the street.
We gotta stop giving them reasons to have
garbage.
Giving them
tough.
things to talk about.
Yeah, right.
Stop. The violence against each other.
Yeah, the
stop killing our neighbors and family members.
Too much violence, but there's good stuff out here.
Yeah, man.
We have to keep promoting the positive things too. But that's why I love how your son was. He was high school sweetheart.
Yeah, man.
He was a good kid. He got good grades. He did what he had to do to get a job, have tenure at a job, and he was a prodigy for riding bikes. This kid was riding a 450 in a couple of years. Like, he's a good kid, and they try to dog him. And that's not right, because I will clap back and I will point out all your little kids that's hooked on drugs and hooked on what, and look at them. And you're gonna sit here and talk about this kid is a good kid. Got targeted. He got run off the road. And I've seen that. And you say you haven't seen that before. I have. I have seen that before. I have seen cops roll up on you and try to hit you with their car. Pull up on you. I've seen that. And they ran that poor kid off the road, man. And nobody gonna tell me they didn't, man. Ain't no video gonna tell me they didn't.
That's something that some change that could be made, man, because they're the ones that, put these people on the oath and give them that authority. You know what I'm saying? So mental illness, man, stop being scared to say you're crazy, because it really is crazy. It depends how you define crazy. We all, man, come on, man.
Bro,
we all did some stuff knowing the pain that we're gonna go through, and that's crazy, man. Of course, mental illness, there needs to be more awareness.
You don't understand, but just
You know?
There's PTSD in the hood, bro. There
Yeah,
is PTSD out here. When you gotta live and you gotta fight for your survival every day.
And don't make it worse by the drugs and alcohol that, you know, you abuse and misuse, you know? I mean, yo, man.
Nah, it's true, man. And like I said, we can really talk about it, and that's why I
Those are
keep the awareness on for this, because this, you know, what you're doing, man, it shouldn't be under these circumstances that we demand change. But like you said, until it happens to you, now it's too late. Now what? Now what? So what about the next kid? What about the next kid they do it to? Is they gonna get justice? So that is why we demand it. We're not asking for it no more, man. And if we can't say, okay, I want it, so give it to me. I know it don't work like that. So we elect people. We've talked about voting people that represent us, that will go fight for us. And we did that. And I'm not saying everything works by the book. I'm not saying everything's perfect, but we did that. We got change. Now we demand them to hold their word, and let's work towards change. And can the community help get behind and support that?
And that's why education is important, man, because you got to know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, maybe in the background, you know, all these elected officials put, you know, their address. You know, like when they did the protest, I didn't want to go to the police station. I didn't have anything to do with forming that, because I wouldn't have had to go to a police station in the dark. You know, they're trained to set up barricades, and you know they're trained.
There is no
more officer friendly like when we were kids. They used to come into school with the big mustache and you know give out the little sticker badges and stuff. You know. That's not what they don't have that anymore. They barely had it then. So don't think that by ending that protest there, it's going to do something. We got to go to these elected officials, put them on the spot. Like, yo, you were just voted saying you were going to help with this, and where are you at? That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Put some addresses up. You know, let people know how to get in touch with people that do make these decisions. Let people know how to become those people that make decisions. That's what education, you know, that's what being vocal and verbal, you know, talking about stuff, you know, that's what having a platform like this, utilizing it in such a positive way. Big up to you guys for doing that. You know, that's what it does.
Yeah,
you know?
And the people that we now have in office, we have elected new people. This is a chance for them to really show what side they stand on, as far as getting things done for the people. And people just came together and did like what you said, and we do it the right way. Not saying going to the police station, you know, but people came together and do it the right way.
Yeah.
There's power in that. Yeah. There's power. We have power.
Go to the police union. Go to the union office.
Right.
Do that. What do you think they got?
There is power.
They got pepper spray, guns, and handcuffs inside the building that everybody went to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go to the place where they got the. It's important to know.
Cops don't make cops.
What they're doing, man.
Yeah, because they're the ones that make the change for the police. The police are just going by what they're told.
They're on the bottom of the totem pole.
They just militarized and thrown out.
You gotta be 18 to become one. That's it, man. There's people that become cops that have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, tell me about it. It happens.
Come on, man. You get fired in one city, you get fired in one state, you go into the next, you get a job in the next city, you get fired, you get fired, fired from the police.
See, that's what I wanted to know about the officers involved. Okay, before I could point a finger and start, you know, and because I can't say why they did something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So all I can say is what they did. You know, it's up to, you know, I can't find out stuff that is pushed under the carpet or not, open to the public, you know? Like, so that's why I can't say he was a racist. He might have, you know, a black wife, you know what I'm saying? I can't, but, you know, he might have, does he have, let's find out, do any of them cops, you know, because they're young, you know, you can see it, you know, what kind of history, how many write-ups have they had? Do they have any disciplinary action that's been taken against them in the past? Where is this their first place of wearing a badge and a uniform? Did they transfer from someplace else, and why? Those are the things we gotta find out and stuff.
Yeah, it's too simple for them just to move in and get
Yeah.
another job as a police officer.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's crazy that they're hiring people that got fired or whatever they did before. It doesn't matter to them, man. I think that's a very honest question.
That goes to show the power of people coming together, because they're able to do that for union.
Yeah, it's a union.
You know what I'm saying? So we need to unionize our communities, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And make some change and stand up and demand some stuff just like they're doing. And protect our people and our communities like they're protecting their people, even when they know they're wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'd like to get an anonymous, you know, survey of people of every cop's opinion on if they think, you know what I'm saying, like, you know.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see those numbers, because you know they gotta stick together. It's like, you know, it's like a gang. Like they're gonna stick together for their own. They're gonna lie for their own. They're gonna throw some stuff, sweep some stuff under the rug
because of the threat and fear that, you know,
being ostracized and being basically they would get what's the word? They would get,
their lives can be threatened.
Yeah.
Point really, I mean, whatever you're trying to think of, but one thing is their lives could be threatened.
Right.
Because if that dude's saying, if you don't support me, if you don't, you know, write this statement and leave that part out.
Yeah.
It's dark out sometimes.
Yeah, we see it all the time. I mean, that's exactly what happens. And then at the end of the day, they're the ones that's actually getting kicked out. And you can't have it both ways. Like, you can't expect people to not be upset when you know you're doing something wrong, and you keep sweeping things under the rug and letting your people get away with stuff, and then expect something different. So I think the only thing that they can do sometimes is militarize, because they already know they're in the wrong. So now they got to beef themselves up. Instead, that's why they talk about defunding. And, you know, it's just a lot of people that support the police. And I understand, because honestly, I don't have nothing against someone that's going to work and trying to provide for their family and protecting people. Yeah. But it's the ones that are the bad apples, or the ones that they want to throw us out to say, yo, he's a bad apple, he deserved what he got.
Like my opinion on the defunding. You know, I don't totally know everything about, but I know one thing, just off the top of my head, maybe it doesn't, you don't have to when all you do is stab someone in the leg or inhale it in their nose. Like, it's not about how to use it, it's about who to use it on, because Narcan can cause people to have seizures and go into comas when it's used on the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. So the money, so it might not be about defunding them, but it might be about auditing and finding out and making sure that the funds that do go to them go to the right places. Because for them to carry stuff like that, and they don't know, like, damn, part of my check is putting something on in their tool belt that they don't know how to use. Yeah. Man, you crazy? That costs money.
No, they're playing with people's lives at that point. And
yeah.
At that time, in that situation, throwing money at a situation, helping that situation.
Yeah. So
you know what? Maybe it is time to really talk about. I mean, they're talking about defunding the police, and I feel like they're gonna continue to talk about and look at that police budgeting and all that stuff. And that's why I was telling my boy, like, I always bring up training, because they always say that they need the training. But I don't think training is. I don't think it's the training.
Well,
I think it's the
education. I mean, they need more training in how to approach situations because it's got to do with everything.
They gotta
Like, so when they go to a scene, when they're called, it's because it's an emergency. So when an emergency happens, most of the people that they're going to, they got some mental illness. They got some problems because they're making a decision that obviously, you know, somebody that is supposed to be making the right decisions and you know, everything. So, you know, our money needs to go into supporting, educating them more on mental illness and other things like that. You know, and then they're saving money like on you know, money for vehicles when they confiscate cars from drug dealers and stuff, they use that.
Right.
You're like that, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even the stuff like smashing all these kids' bikes, right? You know, which is against their rights, but so they had to pay somebody to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of the budget. It's little things like that.
Yeah.
People don't even think about it like that. They had to hire somebody to crush them things. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have no police crushing station. You know what I'm saying? So they had to hire somebody. So that's where some of them funds are going. So that's the kind of things we need to look at where our money's going.
Right.
So you know, we don't gotta rush to say stop doing, like find out some shit first.
But when we got schools falling apart, we got kids going to school. There's mildew and there's mold in the hallways, and there's leaks, and bathrooms don't work, and the lights don't work, and all that. And schools are falling apart. They really need to think. You know, we want to educate our kids, or we want to crush their bikes. You know, come on, man. Like, to them, they love it though. They love talking about that though. I don't get it, man. They love seeing it. They were like, "Oh, they crush all the bikes, crush up, take them all, take all their bikes."
Do that, man. That's against their rights, man. You know, that's violating the law right there.
One thing
You know
that's keeping these kids out of trouble, man. Like, okay, it's okay for you guys to all ride the Harleys everywhere, you know, keeping you out of trouble. Yeah, I know y'all get coked up and then go ride on their Harleys all night. Why don't you take your bikes, crush them? You know, these kids ain't hurting nobody. They're just out here riding together. So it's just double standards, man. I'm sick of the double standards. I want to keep talking about these things. I want to keep putting light to these things. It's getting late. We're gonna have to wrap it up.
Yep. Get involved. Get educated.
Yeah, we're gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna talk about it every week, bro. Appreciate you coming here. Anytime you want to come through, we're gonna keep the prayers up. It's not just about getting mad, man. We gotta figure this stuff out, man. And these are lives that are being. These are lives, bro. They're playing with people's lives, bro. Like. And for no justice is just wrong, man. It's like it's wrong to keep seeing that. And the time has come where we've elected some new people in. I mean, there's changes are gonna come, and whatever changes that were coming up, that are on the books that need to stay active, like Mets and the things that he was doing, we need to keep pushing for those. We can't just let all this stuff die down because that's what they want. We have to keep the awareness, do it the right way. Like you said, educate ourselves.
Yeah, what we call justice, right? The only reason it's called that is justice is because we said it was at some point. You know what I'm saying? We made those decisions as a group of people that made these laws and ordinances that create what's called justice. So if we can make them, we can change them.
Yeah.
When there's mistakes being made in them,
right.
we gotta learn how to clean our stuff up better.
Yeah, and you're right, because justice was made by humans, like mankind.
Yeah.
Like when we wrote those Bill of Rights down, we came up with
we
those.
wrote it at one time, so we can rewrite it.
Yeah,
if we have to.
And the thing is,
or just enforce what we wrote.
That's right.
That's what we're trying to do.
Laws can be changed. We can change the laws. We just have to do it the right way. And that's all they say. They say, "Oh, you don't like it? Change the law." Well, all right then, let's do that.
Yo,
I think it's about time. It's about time we do that.
Change. You want to hide something from people? the best place to put it is on paper in a book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta read some books, know what you're talking about, get some education.
That's right.
You know?
Nah, those are wise words, man, and I feel you, bro, and appreciate you coming.
From anything related to this and just suffering, period, man.
Yeah.
God bless you all. Thank you, everybody, for the support. You know, sorry we can't respond to everybody that sent us messages as a family and everything. You know, the thousands and thousands of people that have requested, you know, each of us as family, you know, it's almost impossible to confirm every, you know, and then also there's some, you know, like I got some nasty ass hooker stuff like that I wasn't paying. I was just trying to confirm everything, and I confirmed some stuff, and it's about these websites. I was like, oh God, no.
Yeah, you gotta watch
So
out,
that's why
man.
it's harder to respond to everybody.
You gotta weed through the fake
thank you for the
profiles.
support, and please understand if we're not responding, it's not because we don't care, or we didn't see it.
No, I'm sure you're getting spam, man.
Yeah,
You're
man, of
getting,
course.
you're getting the fake profiles.
You know?
I'm from Florida, New York. Like what? Like where I'm from, like.
But I was accepting
weird
everybody
stuff.
because I felt the more people that I had on my page, when I share something, the more support, or at least the more people that I could, if they don't support, I might be able to educate them or enlighten them in a way where they will support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's what they say. They say add everybody. They say, oh, just add everybody. Just add everybody. But you're doing it the right way, though. I really been watching what you're doing, man. Like as everybody, I really believe a lot of people have been watching. A lot of people understand the situation, and it's not easy, man. And so, you know, my heart goes out to you, brother. You know, and for your son, and
for everyone else, man, because you know, like when people ask how I'm this, we lost some people too. You know, my son, he's not how we want him to be right now, but he has a fighting chance because he's still taking a breath. He wakes up breathing.
Right.
So
yeah, and you know, until there's some kind of justice, this is not going away. And you know, we're gonna keep pushing. And you got some people that's gonna fight in your corner, bro.
Like I said, this week we're waiting for something from the AG, man.
Yeah.
So you know, I asked people, I put it on, you know, so because people weren't showing up sometimes, so I said at least write your mind.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
maybe we can do that too. Maybe we can write a letter to the AG.
Emails, letters,
what's
whatever.
his name?
Rhode Island. Attorney General's office.
And that's the Attorney General's office. Yeah, we're gonna write a letter. I don't know if it can help, but
hey,
you know,
that's what I'm saying.
We're gonna
he has people and elected officials has to listen to the voices that elected them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do, and that's why we demand.
So that's why it's important to do just something simple like that, man. You know?
Anything, Jazz, you want to say? I know you're tired.
I'm sorry, I woke up at 7 in the morning for school, so I'm like
She's a trooper. But you know,
no,
hopefully,
I appreciate everything you've been saying. Thank you for coming. I mean,
No, that's all right.
My heart goes out to you. It really does.
It's a learning experience for us
my heart
too.
goes out to
education.
you too, because you're our future, man. You know what I mean? You know, I didn't expect when I was your age or older having kids that this would happen one day. So, you know, I pray for you that it doesn't happen in your future. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Because what are we gonna do? Like you said, until it happens to someone in your family, then it's too late. So what about the next kid? So that's why we demand the justice now. So we can get that precedent out the way, because they don't want to set that precedent. They want to keep it how it is. They don't want
to this podcast, man. They're sending out messages, man. They're trying to help. They're trying to educate our community. They're trying to share information. They're getting involved, man. You know?
Yeah, so appreciate you, brother, for coming, man. You know,
thank you.
And yeah, so thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Our prayers go out to Jamal Gonzalves. Yeah, we're looking for justice, and we're not gonna stop till there's justice. And that's what we're using our platform. We standing for that 100%. We're gonna fight this fight, and he's got people supporting, and he's got people that is gonna fight with him, and that's the point. We gotta support our people out here, and we demand justice, man. So write the AG, Peter Marone, 150 South Main Street in Providence. That's the AG's office. Write him a letter. Tell him how you feel about this. I'm going to.
Get your t-shirts, sweatshirts, face masks, Justice for Jamal at 2020 Studios, Newport, Rhode Island, Broadway, right next to A1 Pizza by the Newport Hospital.
Yeah, man.
All the money goes to his medical proceeds. It costs cash out of, our pockets to send him to New Jersey. Medical doesn't pay for everything, so.
Yeah, I'll buy one. I'll buy one, and we'll definitely, if you got a link, we'll share it, and let's keep it going.
All right,
All right, appreciate
God bless
you, man.
everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for letting us go.